Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Survival in the Wasteland. Deduction of pupil technique. White eyes at the beginning. Chapter 1. The wasteland world is full of endless dangers. In addition to the need to be careful of monster attacks, you must also be careful of sneak attacks of the same kind. You know, there are no rules and systems in that place. Tomorrow is the time for the opening of the Doomsday Pagoda. I don't know why this time, but you are the only contestant in Long Country to be selected. But I still wish you a smooth return. Quote. In the classroom, an imposing and strong man was explaining the precautions to Su Yu, with a trace of pity in his eyes. In the 200-person classroom, only Su Yu and this strong man looked empty. Su Yu in the audience looked at the pagoda mark in his hand with complicated hearts. He didn't expect that he would be chosen by the Tower of Doom. The most deceitful thing is that this time Longuo is the only person selected by the pagoda. Yes, hundreds of people are selected in other countries, but Long Country has only one person. It feels wonderful. Liver pain. It hurts. There are thousands of thoughts in my heart, and memories flood my heart. This is already the second year since he traveled to this world. Already have a good understanding of this place. Simply put, this is a highly developed world. As the number of people increases, the consumption of resources also increases. For this reason, many countries have to tap more resources to use. The crust, the ocean, the sky. As long as humans can reach, they will not let go. This caused Mercury to become riddled with holes, and various natural disasters occurred from time to time. Even so, it is still unable to meet the needs brought about by the explosive growth of human beings. In order to completely solve the problem, various countries have jointly formed a survey team to go to space for exploration, trying to fix the resource problem once and for all. This walk is half a year. The resources were not found, but a mysterious pagoda was brought back. After research by experts and scholars, it was discovered that this pagoda turned out to be a mysterious teleportation array, which was connected to another world. All countries are boiling, and immediately formed a professional team to find a way to enter the pagoda world. But no matter how much they researched, they couldn't open it. Until later, people found out. When the pagoda changes, there will be a group of human beings with an extra pagoda mark on their wrists. People speculate that the mark may be the key to enter the world connected to the pagoda. Then experiments were made. From all over the world, 1,000 marked humans were summoned to prepare to enter the world connected by the pagoda. It worked. 5 days later, when the pagoda was lit up again, only a dozen or so of the original 1,000 humans came out. And carry a lot of supplies. According to the description of the survivors, the world connected by the pagoda. It is a vast wasteland world. It is full of various resources, and there are many unknown blueprints, instruments, energy blocks. But it's also fraught with danger. A large number of zombies, bloodthirsty mutant monsters, and weird monsters. As long as they see humans, they will come up to kill and eat. This is why the team of thousands of people finally came out with dozens of people. However, the resources brought out by the survivors will be realized in the real world according to a certain proportion. A caddy of iron ore can be turned into a vein. 10 bottles of fresh water can turn into a lake. 1 liter of oil can turn into an oil field, and the potions in it have a certain chance of obtaining magical abilities after being drunk by humans. They are called new humans. These whole worlds are seething. The wasteland world can not only obtain a large amount of resources, but also has the possibility of becoming a new human. Even if the danger is high, there are still countless human beings who want to enter to gain the opportunity to become rich or awaken. After a long period of sorting out, people finally summed up the rules. 1. The pagoda will open every 2 weeks. 3 days before opening, the imprint will be lowered. Chosen humans can enter that world. In addition, when the wasteland world is opened, you can enter the 2. Wasteland world will score the selectors. The longer you stay, the more points you will get. The higher the score, the more rewards you will get. The highest rating currently recorded is AB grade. It is a player from Shangguo, who stayed in the wasteland world for 15 days. After coming out, he got rich rewards and awakened as an Earth-type supernatural being. 3. There are 7 layers in the wasteland world. When players stay in the Wasteland world for more than 5 days, they will be prompted to enter the next level. The higher the number of floors, the higher the risk factor, and the greater the score and rewards obtained. 4. Every human being who enters the Wasteland world cannot bring foreign objects. Except for the products originally born in the Wasteland world, no foreign objects can be brought in. All materials need to be found by the selector in the world. 5. The behavior of each selected person will be recorded and broadcast live. To this end, various countries have specially established professional live broadcast platforms and professional explanation teams to answer questions for the audience. 6. There is no limit to the number of players who have obtained the mark. Whenever the Pagoda world is opened, they can enter the Wasteland world again. After several years of adaptation, the system of the whole world has changed. Governments, corporations, and human beings all gather their targets in the Wasteland world. In order to obtain more resources, various countries have also set up specialized training schools. Provide professional guidance and training. The purpose of Su Yu's visit today is to receive temporary special training. After Long Yun's explanation, he had a better understanding of the Wasteland world and felt extremely melancholy. But he didn't intend to give up this opportunity. Su Yu had a guess in his mind. I came here through time travel and didn't get the system. This is impossible for the traveler. He guessed that perhaps the system could only be awakened after entering the Wasteland world. After confirming the identity of the new batch of selectors, the world was shocked. They get amazing news. Dragon Kingdom has only one human being selected. This piece of news appeared on major online platforms around the world and became a hot search. Su Yu's name entered the public's field of vision, instantly went out of the circle, and became popular all over the internet. Wasteland World Forum. This news also made it to the top of the list. Netizens from all over the world have ridiculed. Ha 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 ha, your Dragon Kingdom is finished. This time only one person from the Dragon Kingdom was selected, so he must return empty-handed. Go away empty-handed. You think too much. I've read his profile, and he's not a top student at Wasteland Academy, nor is he a martial arts expert. After entering, he can't last a day, and he will definitely be swallowed by zombies at night. Our big wave country has more than 100 selectors this time, so we will definitely be number 1. Ah Siba, our kimchi country is the eternal god. Seeing these remarks, countless Long Kingdom people clenched their fists. But they didn't know how to refute each other. After all, what they said was the truth. In the Wasteland world, there is a huge difference between a single person and a team. After the player enters the Wasteland world, the first task is to find members from the same country to report to the group to keep warm. Only in this way can the survival rate be improved. But Su Yu has only one person. What should he do? The other side. In a mysterious conference room in Yanjing, several high-level officials were discussing. They also had a headache after receiving the news. They understand the horror of the Wasteland better than outsiders. An emergency meeting was called to discuss it. After repeated discussions, an old man at the head made a decision. We cannot place the country's hope on Su Yu alone. That's too slim. After pondering for a moment, the old man continued to speak. Send Yebai squad. Enter the Wasteland world with Su Yu. Our Dragon Kingdom's resources are running out, and we must gain something this time. Night White squad. It is a professional team formed by the elites selected by the Dragon Kingdom from the selectors. There are 7 members in the team. All have received the most professional training, and both are the top talents in various fields. The leader of the team, Yi Cheng, is a new human who has awakened supernatural powers. When everyone heard the words, they nodded in agreement. And this decision was quickly communicated. That night, many people in Longguo suffered from insomnia, including Su Yu. At this time, he was lying on the plane, staring at the scene outside the window in a daze. Thoughts are flying. The next morning, a group of people stood in the huge square. There are 2,492 people in total, and they are the ones selected to enter the Wasteland world this time. The crowd was divided into countless small teams according to different countries, and only Su Yu stood alone. At this moment, a group of people walked out of the crowd, led by a young woman. The specially made leather jacket revealed her perfect figure, her expression was indifferent, and the silver hair on her back fluttered in the wind. The face value reached 94 points. The woman just glanced at Su Yu and didn't say much. A 20-year-old brother walked out of the team. Smiling, he walked up to Su Yu and stretched out his left hand. Hello, my name is Wang Peng. It's a member of the Yabai team, and this time it's also entering the Wasteland world. Hello. Su Yu didn't expect that Longguo would even send out a special team. With a heartbeat, I also understood. It must be only myself, the chance is too slim. It is impossible for Dragon Kingdom to pin all its hopes on itself, so it sent a professional team to enter the Wasteland world to find supplies. The two just exchanged simple greetings. Suddenly, the pagoda above changed. A huge screen of light emerged from the void. Wasteland world is about to open. This time a total of 2,532 selected participants will participate. Among them, 2,492 were newly selected, and 40 were re-entered. The whole live broadcast has started. Metal synth sounds, echoing throughout the venue. After a while, thousands of split screens appeared in the sky. Each screen plays a picture of a chosen person. At the same time, professionals in various countries are also getting ready. Or prepare to record data, or turn on the device in front of you for a global live broadcast. In the next second, countless people were integrated into the live broadcast rooms of various countries. In the live broadcast room, bullet screens flooded in like tides. It's started. It's finally started. I don't know how many of this group of people will survive. Look at Dragon Kingdom, why are there 8 people participating? Didn't the report say there was only one selector? Dragon Kingdom sent a professional team to enter the Wasteland world with Su Yu. Wow, the official action has been taken. Longguo has been saved. Come on, you are all the pride of our dragon country. You must hang on. As long as it lasts for 5 days, you will win. What's the use of 8 people? Our Eagle Sauce country has more than 140 people, so there must be something to gain. Kimchi country, rush for me. At this time, the marks in the hands of the selected candidates suddenly lit up. A light curtain emanated from the pagoda, covering everyone. In the next second, everyone disappeared in place. Welcome to the Wasteland world. Please players find or build shelters as soon as possible. After dark, please don't go out casually, otherwise you will encounter terrible monsters. Good luck. After the light beam, Su Yu has appeared in another space. At this moment, a voice sounded in my mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host for entering the Wasteland world and successfully binding the deduction system. Points Mall has been successfully opened. Newbie gift packs have been released. Even if this possibility has already been guessed, Su Yu was still a little surprised. He actually bound the system. What came into view was a barren ruins. The air was lifeless, filled with a depressing atmosphere. The ground is cracked, the land is deserted, and weeds are overgrown. A pile of white bones can be seen everywhere, shining with a strange light under the sunlight. This is the Wasteland world. A world without order and rules. In addition to opportunities, it is full of dangers. At this time, a man was standing in the ruins in a daze. After understanding, Su Yu already understood the function of the system. Simply put, the system can deduce any skills and abilities. Not only the skills that exist in reality, but also the abilities in comics and novels can be deduced. As long as he can imagine it, he can deduce it. This is what he is best at. After all, he liked to study various action movies and comics in his previous life. In terms of skills and abilities, it can be said that I have a very good understanding. Thinking this way, Su Yu will deduce a powerful ability. Ding! The host's deduction is not enough. It is impossible to deduce the ability to speak and speak according to the law. The system's notification sound, like a basin of cold water, quenched Su Yu's excitement. It turns out that the ability to deduce is also divided into different levels. The higher the level of deduction skills, the more deduction points are required. And my own deduction points are only 100 points, so I can't deduce the ability to speak out. How should this be done? Just when Su Yu was in a hurry, the reminder sounded in his mind again. Ding! The host novice gift package has not yet been opened. Do you want to open it now? Turn it on. Without hesitation, he directly chose to turn it on. Ding! Congratulations to the host, deduction points plus 1000. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining primary breathing. Ding! Congratulations to the host for getting a chance to deduce an S-level ability. The host is asked to choose the ability he wants to deduce by himself. Friendly reminder. Since the host's current spiritual power is too low to activate large-scale abilities, the system recommends that the host choose growth-type abilities. Growth type. Su Yu asked curiously, what kind of ability is that? Growth ability. Will grow with the growth of the host. In the initial use, the command consumes a small amount of spiritual power of the host. At this point, Su Yu also understood. The S-level combat ability does have the ability to destroy the world. Consumables are also huge. Even if his deduction is successful, he still doesn't have enough spiritual power to release it. But growth is different. It will play different roles at different stages. Some improvements can also be made. Actually understood, Su Yu was thinking about what ability he should deduce in his mind. The first thing he thought of was the 3 pupil techniques. The second is the domineering look. Both of these are good growth abilities. Thinking of this, Su Yu asked, 3 cleans in one breath. No, this is an SSS level ability. Sharingan. This is an S level ability. Blind eyes. This is an S level ability. Domineering look. This is an S level ability. After several inquiries, Su Yu has already set his sights on Bai Yan, Sharingan, and Domineering Color. These 3 are all extremely powerful growth abilities. After careful decision, Su Yu decided to deduce the rolling eyes first. Bai Yan is one of the 3 pupil techniques, although it is not obvious in the anime. But Su Yu thinks its ability is very suitable for use in this living world. Bai Yan has clairvoyant eyes that can see through things, telescopic eyes that can see into the distance, and insight eyes with strong observation power. This is very suitable for survival in the wasteland world. What's more, after opening the white eyes, the physical skills will be greatly improved, and it may evolve into reincarnation eyes in the later stage. Tensegan is absolutely invincible. At this point, Su Yu has made a decision. Roll your eyes. System, I want to deduce supercilious look. Ding! Your chance to use the S-level deduction supercilious. Because it is a gift from the system, it can be obtained without deduction. After the system prompt sounded, Su Yu trembled all over, and his body was surrounded by a beam of light that was hard to find with the naked eye. Boom! Countless information poured into his mind. Fortunately, Su Yu lowered his head at this time, and the audience could not see his changes. After the system automatically deduced, Su Yu's eyes turned from black to white, and the veins in the eye sockets burst out. The white eyes were successfully opened. Gradually, Su Yu felt a different change. Small dots of light can be seen appearing in the air. Feel the velocity of the air. Gas changes. The surrounding objects are directly penetrated under his white eyes. The treasure chest, the material is clearly revealed under the white eyes. Brush. Half a minute later, the white eyes disappeared. A lot of sweat oozes from Su Yu's forehead, and most of the spiritual power in his body has been consumed. After guessing, Su Yu found that Bai Yan can last for 1 minute with full opening. If the scope and ability are compressed, I believe it can improve the sound for a long time. Thinking of this, Su Yu opened the personal information panel. Host. Su Yu. Cultivation level. First level primary. Spiritual power. 1/200. Ability. White eyes LV1 0/1000 elementary breathing. Deduction point. 1100. Just when Su Yu was looking at the properties, the audience in the live broadcast room was not happy. You must know that after players enter the wasteland world, the first task is to contact teammates and build shelters together. Only by uniting together can we resist the attack of monsters when the night comes. As a result, Su Yu has been standing there since he came in, motionless. What happened to this Su Yu? Since entering the wasteland, he has been standing there without moving. I think he was scared stupid. I'm afraid he will regret it. Ha 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 ha, is this the strength of your Dragon Kingdom players? The Great Wave Kingdom is already gathering its team. We have already started hunting in the United States. The contestants from Ala discovered an oil field. They made a fortune again. As far as your Dragon Kingdom is concerned, if there is no special team entering, I am afraid that this time you will return without success. Look, Su Yu moved. In the picture, Su Yu finally acted. Go straight into a dilapidated apartment behind you. Just when I opened my eyes just now. In this hut, he found a silver treasure chest. In this world, treasure chests appear randomly and will be refreshed every once in a while. The levels of treasure chests are bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, legendary, epic. But the audience in front of the screen didn't know that Suyu could see the treasure chest. They found that Suyu's next move was still not to build a shelter. Not to mention foreigners, many people in Longguo are anxious to curse. I'm drunk too. Can this Suyu be trusted? Yes, look at other countries. After entering this world, they either look for teammates or build huts. Look at Suyu again. She's waiting to die. Wait until after dark, I won't regret seeing him. I really don't understand, what can he do in that broken room? Is there a treasure chest for him to open? I'm so angry, I can't stand it any longer. I'll go to the next door to see Miss Yeqing. Let's go together. Miss Sister is beautiful and eye-catching, and her survival skills are also full. Meanwhile, Suyu has already walked into the apartment. Come to the second floor. According to memory, he stopped outside a room, pushed open the dilapidated wooden door, and walked in. Really, a silver treasure chest was lying quietly on the ground. Silver treasure chest. There are a small amount of resources inside, and there is a certain chance of obtaining silver-level equipment after opening. Without thinking too much, Suyu walked directly to the silver treasure chest. I was a little excited. Sure enough, Bai Yan made the right choice. It is really easy to use in this kind of world. Without hesitation, he directly opened the silver treasure chest. You successfully opened the silver treasure chest. The next moment, after a white light appeared, a bunch of items exploded from the treasure chest. Moon Shadow Ancient Sword, Silver Rank. Primary Energy Source X5. Wind Energy Blueprint, Silver Level. Super Energy Generator, Silver Level. Water Purifier, Silver Class. Scrap Robot, Bronze Level. Elementary Evolution Potion X2. Wood X100, Fresh Water X100, Bread X100, Stone X100, Meteorite X10. Such luck. Really opened the robot and silver weapons. Robots are the perfect workforce, helping themselves build houses and patrol camps. Silver-level weapons can enhance one's combat effectiveness after being equipped. Plus these supplies. It's a perfect start. This scene caused the barrage in the live broadcast room to go silent. Everyone was dumbfounded. I ride a horse. What a treasure chest. What is this? Everyone's heads were full of question marks, and they didn't know what to post for a while. Several experts who were originally explaining in the Yeqing live broadcast room also came after hearing the news. In the picture, the faces of several experts were flushed with excitement, and they were dancing and celebrating. Expert Dong shouted at the top of his voice, "Congratulations to Suyu, you won the silver treasure box at the beginning. This is a perfect start." Expert Sun. Yeah, I didn't expect. The most underrated player would have such a chance. The other two experts nodded again and again. He also issued energy stones. They are scarce resources. One piece can bear the consumption of Dragon Kingdom for a month. Plus those precious blueprints and potions. I'm so excited that I don't know what to say. The old man who was far away in Yanjing was also stunned watching this scene. The old man has been with Longguo for 60 years, and he has been calm for a long time. But when he received the silver treasure box from Suyu, his heart was shocked. The cigarette in my hand is about to burn until I don't even know it. That was a silver-ranked treasure chest. Since the opening of the Wasteland world, there have only been 50 in the world. He was found so easily by the young man in front of him. What luck. This is a great opportunity for Longguo. Connect me to the military right away. A meeting. I have something important to explain. After regaining his senses, the old man immediately picked up the phone in his hand and gave instructions to the secretary. Netizens from all over the world frantically flocked to Suyu's live broadcast room after receiving the news. Originally, the popularity was only 200 million, and it broke through to 1 billion in an instant. At the same time, Suyu collected all the props into the space that comes with the game. Then he looked at the ancient sword in his hand. Moon Shadow Ancient Sword, Silver Rank. Durability, 40/40ths. Strength +20, Sharpness +50, Sensitivity +5. The whole body of the knife is silver, and the handle is equipped with a pattern of dragon and phoenix. Swipe, Su Yu pulled out the ancient sword in his hand, and slashed at the wall in front of him. Boom! A deep gully was carved out of the wall. Is this the strength of silver-level weapons? Seeing such power, Su Yu was overjoyed. For high-level equipment, full of more longing. When the equipment level reaches gold, it also carries certain skills. At this moment, the system prompt sounded again. Ding! Does the ancient moon shadow sword in your hand need to be exchanged for deduction points? Exchange deduction points. With the help of the system's prompt, Su Yu found out. It turns out that the props obtained in the Wasteland world can be exchanged for deduction points in the system. The silver-level weapon in hand can be exchanged for 500 points. After a short thought, Su Yu decided to leave the weapon behind. You must know that in this Wasteland world, Haitai is not the only one who is in danger. During the day, there are still many mutated beasts coming out to attack humans. Ancient swords can be used for self-defense. Su Yu directly stuck the ancient sword in his waist, which is convenient to use in case of danger. Only then did he focus his attention on the 2 bottles of medicine. Primary Evolution Potion. After drinking, it can improve the player's physical fitness. There is a very small chance of awakening the ability. Each player can only drink 1 bottle. For this medicine, Su Yu naturally understood that only by drinking this potion can human beings awaken. Although the odds are low. But a bottle of medicine can be sold for a high price of 100 million in the real world. And it's still priceless. In terms of improving quality alone, it is incomparable with current technology, let alone awakening. Su Yu took out a bottle and drank it on the spot. This is the way he has thought of for a long time. As long as you drink the potion, your white eyes can be used casually. Netizens watching will only think that they have awakened after taking medicine. Then there will be no suspicion. Gudu gudu. After raising his head to drink, a warm current poured into Su Yu's body, and his whole body was filled with strength. Ding! You get 600 deduction points. Ding! Your cultivation has successfully reached the late stage of the first order. Really, after Su Yu drank it, except for the improvement of his cultivation base, he did not awaken any special abilities. To deceive the audience in front of the screen. After drinking the potion, Su Yu squatted on the ground with his head in his arms, deliberately showing a hideous expression, and let out a low growl. Afterwards, the White Eyes ability was activated directly. This scene was naturally broadcast live. Is this awakening? Is it really the son of luck? First come a silver treasure chest, and then an awakening. Movies don't dare to shoot like this. Su Yu, narrow the road. I vomited. I also drank the primary potion, why didn't I awaken my ability? 666. The local tyrant upstairs. Look, Su Yu's eyeballs are white. This is the awakening of the body. Hehe, Siulong Kingdom people have never seen the world. A mere physical awakening makes you so excited. That's right, it's not an elemental awakener. As for this is Yang Kingdom. Because a body awakened person is so excited. Seeing Su Yu's successful awakening, those foreign netizens are not only envious but also jealous. They couldn't understand why the little boy in front of him was so lucky. At the beginning, the treasure chest will be awakened. I'm so mad. You can only vent your tyrannical emotions in the live broadcast room. So far, there are 3 main types of awakeners. One is the elemental awakener. This is the rarest and the strongest. After awakening, you can control the power of elements, such as ice, fire, thunder and lightning. One is the body awakener. A certain part or organ of the body mutates and acquires certain abilities. The last type is the warriors or latent cultivators in reality, who rely on ancient methods to cultivate, and after drinking the evolution potion, they awaken powerful abilities. This category is also the most mysterious, with little access to the wasteland world. No matter what kind of awakener, the number is extremely rare. Once human beings are successfully awakened, they will receive national key training. It can be said that he has reached the pinnacle of his life. 5 minutes later, Su Yu's complexion gradually recovered. Then he got up slowly, and the white pupils in his eyes gradually disappeared and turned into black. Should have tricked them. Thinking of this, Su Yu left the building. With the improvement of his cultivation base, He can hold on for 5 minutes after fully opening his white eyes. Su Yu is very satisfied with this. Just when he pretended to wake up just now, he had already thought about his next move. Build the shelter first. In the Wasteland world, all actions of the Chosen One will be broadcast live. But there are exceptions. Refuge. Wasteland world for privacy reasons. When the selected person enters the refuge, the live broadcast screen will be automatically cut off. People from the outside can't see what's going on in the shelter. Therefore, many selected people will choose to stay in the refuge, formulate plans, and discuss countermeasures. And Su Yu built a shelter, except for rest. It is to use the deduction system to deduce a practical skill. He understood his situation well. Selectors from other countries can gather together to keep warm and face monster attacks together. But he is only one person. As for the Night White team, unreliable. When Su Yu met Yi Qing for the first time, he knew the result. The other party came into this world with a purpose, not to help himself. Su Yu didn't blame the other party, if he would do the same. This is already a disaster world. You are not helpful to others, but a burden. Why do people help you? This is not a novel. This is reality. So, he can only rely on himself. Rely on the deduction system to find your own way in this world. Su Yu walked to an open space calmly. He has already used his white eyes to observe the surrounding environment. There are no dangerous beasts. So he planned to build a shelter right here. After a white light, a robot appears in the clearing. The electronic voice sounded in the open space. Diddy. Scrap robot, glad to serve you. It was a humanoid robot with a height of 1.6 meters, covered in silver metal, with red lights dancing in its eyes, waiting for Su Yu's order. Clutter robots. In the Wasteland world, the robot with the least intelligence can only complete simple instructions. Go and collect the resources around you. Su Yu gave instructions to the robot. He called up the game interface and prepared to build a shelter. Primary refuge. The simplest shelter can withstand certain attacks. Construction requirements. Wood X80, stone X50. Put up. Lash out. Lash out. Su Yu took the stone hammer given by the game and started building the shelter in the open space. In the game world, building buildings has an acceleration effect. Coupled with the fact that it is a house for one person, it can be built very quickly. 10 minutes later, a simple stone house appeared in the open space. Su Yu wiped the sweat from his forehead. Walk in. Su Yu sat cross-legged on the floor, communicating with the system, what skills should be deduced. Just when Su Yu walked into the refuge, the live broadcast room outside had changed. The game system automatically switched the live broadcast to the sky above Su Yu's shelter. The situation inside is completely invisible to everyone. After everyone waited for a while, they found that Su Yu still hadn't come out of the shelter. Everyone is stupid. They all spoke. Quote question mark question mark quote. Quote question mark question mark question mark question mark question mark quote. What's the situation? Can't come out. Is it really Buddhist? Don't go hunting. Don't collect materials. Is this to enjoy life? I'm completely stumped. Su Yu. Can you do something about Yang Jian? I beg you, can you be more serious like other contestants? This scene was also seen by several experts in the director's hall. The four looked at each other. Each other showed a trace of helplessness. Just now, they received an official order from Dragon Kingdom. Let them explain Su Yu's situation to the audience more. As a newly awakened person, Su Yu is a very good science textbook. It can let the whole people know more about the abilities of the awakened ones. Just when they want to explain, Su Yu hid directly in the shelter and couldn't come out. This caused a black line on the foreheads of several people. Su Yu is really an unpredictable player. After a long time, expert Dong took the lead in breaking the silence. Yeah, I guess Su Yu is adapting in the shelter and has newly acquired abilities. Everyone might as well wait patiently for a while. 5 minutes later, quote. 10 minutes later, quote. Half an hour later, quote. After an hour, expert. Audience, somewhere in the Dragon Kingdom. In the cabin, Su Yu has finished communicating with the system. Understand the steps of deduction. Simply put, system deduction needs to rely on his imagination. The more he knows about skills or abilities, the less deduction points will be consumed, and the deduction will be faster. What else is there to deduce? White eyes are an auxiliary ability. Sure enough, an offensive ability is still needed. It can't be too high level. While muttering to himself, his eyes swept to the ancient sword in front of him. I can deduce a sword technique by myself. Isn't this what suits you best? Thinking of this, Su Yu recalled all kinds of martial arts movies in his mind. Speaking of swordsmanship, the most influential ones must be Dugu Nine Swords and Evil Resisting Swordsmanship. The method of cultivating evil spirit swordsmanship is somewhat special, and it is not suitable for me. Then there is only Dugu Nine Swords left. Dugu Nine Swords was created by Dugu Chubai. In the novel, Dugu Chubai is invincible in the world with this swordsmanship. Tomb, to die in depression. Most coincidentally, Su Yu still remembers the knack in the novel. This is another bloody story. When he was a child, he was obsessed with martial arts novels, hoping to be like those heroes, so he memorized those kung fu formulas. I didn't realize how stupid my behavior was until I was an adult. Thinking of this, Su Yu has already made a decision. Said to the system, I want to deduce Dugu Nine Swords first. After finishing speaking, Su Yu was still silently reciting the mantra of Dugu Nine Swords in his heart. Gime tends to Wawang, Wawang tends to Fellows, Fellows tend to Dao, A turns to C turns to Zheng, Zheng turns to Gui. Quote. Various action scenes are recalled in my mind. Ding, are you sure to spend 1,000 deduction points to deduce Dugu Nine Swords? Confirm. Su Yu nodded. The smile in my heart is even worse. Really, the hard work in childhood was not in vain, and it could help me save a lot of deduction points. Just when Su Yu confirmed the deduction. Boom. There was a roar in his ears, and Su Yu's mind shook. Then he saw little golden figures floating in the sea of consciousness, holding a sword and doing various actions. Slashing, stabbing, parrying. In an instant, Su Yu entered a mysterious state. Broken sword style, broken knife style, broken spear style. Whispering in a low voice, the ancient sword in Su Yu's hand moved along with the villain. Instantly, sword lights are everywhere, and the wind is strong. Su Yu's breathing gradually became heavier, and the sweat leaked from his back. This is Dugu Nine Swords. While whispering softly, Su Yu opened his eyes, revealing a pair of white eyes. Discover the ability to use the white eyes to better control the body. It is easier to keep up with the movements of the statuette in your mind. Cultivation will get twice the result with half the effort. Sure enough, Bai Yan's choice is right. Take a deep breath and calm down the messy breathing. It is said to be 9 swords, but in fact there are various changes, and there are 360 changes in total to perform the general formula. This Dugu 9 swords is more difficult to learn than he imagined. Fortunately, with Bai Yan's help, Su Yu has already mastered the exercises. Next, you need to get familiar with it slowly. Dugu 9 Swords pays attention to adapting to changing situations, and only after getting familiar with it can it display its full strength. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully practicing Dugu 9 Swords. The system beep sounded again. Su Yu immediately opened the personal information to check. Host: Su Yu. Cultivation: Late Stage 1. Spiritual Power: 1/200. Abilities: Bayan LV1 15 1/1000. Elementary Breathing, Dugu 9 Swords LV1 0 100. Deduction Points: 700. Seeing that the progress bar of Bayan has increased, Su Yu was taken aback. He originally thought that these progress bars were meant to automatically improve after he reached the second level. Now it seems that it is not what I imagined. Quickly ask the system. After questioning, Su Yu understood. It turned out that it was the proficiency of each skill. Every time you use the corresponding skill, your proficiency will increase. In addition, you can also use deduction points to upgrade. The consumption of deduction points is also different according to the level of the skill. For example, Bayan needs 1000 deduction points to upgrade to level 2, and Dugu 9 Swords only needs 100 points. System: Raise Dugu 9 Swords to level 3. Ding! You spent 400 deduction points and successfully upgraded Dugu 9 Swords to level 3. The next moment, a golden light flooded into Su Yu's mind. Countless memories exploded in his mind. He realized it. The originally unfamiliar swordsmanship has become more enlightened. The ancient sword in his hand was like a part of his body, and he could make the most correct judgment with a single thought. This is the charm of the system. Love it, love it. Su Yu now has the confidence to survive on the first floor. 2 hours have passed. In Su Yu's studio, everyone also waited for 2 hours. The experts were forced to do so, while those sand sculpture netizens wanted to see what the hell Su Yu was up to. As a result, the popularity of Su Yu's live broadcast has not declined. As a result, it reached the top of the platform popularity list. Now, it has attracted the attention of countless netizens. These new netizens found the problem after reading it for a while, and they typed and asked. There are no contestants in this live broadcast room, why are there so many people? Is the anchor a refuge? Are you sick? Can you watch this kind of live broadcast? Maid, is this the most popular live broadcast room? Not even a contestant. Are you in peach? Stop making noise. Look, Su Yu is out. Come on, it's been 2.5 hours. This grandson finally came out. What the hell did I do? Sat here for over 2 hours. When the 4 experts in the studio saw Su Yu appearing, their dull expressions suddenly changed. Dong Qiancheng was the first to come back to his senses, and said. It seems that Su Yu has already rested, and there must be something big going out this time. Let us all wait and see. Owner. Seeing Su Yu coming out, the robot at the door hurried forward. He also held a bundle of wooden blocks in his hand. Good job, Su Yu encouraged by patting the robot's head. I'll find some rocks later. Yes, at this time. He felt a pang of hunger. Look at the time, it's already 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I practiced for 2 hours, no wonder I'm hungry. Su Yu took out a bag of bread and a bottle of water from the bag. Sitting at the door of the hut, he ate. The other side. The Yeqing team finally assembled. 7 people are standing on a plain, building houses. Captain, are we really not looking for Su Yu? Wang Peng, who was cutting trees, asked with a smile. Remember our mission. A cold voice came from Yeqing's mouth. In fact, she also wanted to save. However, if she had to choose between the country and Su Yu, she would naturally choose the former. Although I can't save you, still wish you can live. Thinking like this in my heart, but on the surface I said coldly. Hurry up, everyone, there is only 50 units of wood left to build a shelter for 10 people. Yes, did you have received a private message? Just after eating, Su Yu received a notification sound from the game. Private chat, who is looking for me? It was only then that Su Yu remembered that there are still chat channels in this world. There are 3 categories in total. World channel, regional channel, private chat channel. In addition, there are character panel, construction bar, backpack, trading line, mail, location sharing and other functions. All are for players. Thinking about it, he directly opened the private chat channel. A message came into view. Wang Peng. Brother Su, I'm sorry. We can't leave here temporarily, and we can't join you. Remember, you must upgrade the shelter to level 2, so that there is a chance of survival at night. Remember, do not go out at night. Look at the message sent by the other party. Su Yu's heart warmed. He had already guessed that the other party would not come over, but unexpectedly, the other party reminded him thoughtfully. Immediately, he replied to the other party. Thank you, I will pay attention. Taking advantage of the rest time, Su Yu turned on the world channel by the way, trying to find useful information. Food, fresh water, I can exchange gold nuggets. I'm so hungry, I can't catch wild rabbits either. I can exchange resources for anyone who wants to eat. Axie, there is an E-level beast here. Who will save me? A bunch of trash, rank number 1 on the first night, we, Languo, are sure. Hehe, our Shangguo just smiled and said nothing. How dare you be arrogant in such a tiny place? Ha ha ha, I found a bronze treasure chest, I got rich. I'll do it. My brother offered food, sell me. Quote. After watching the chat, Su Yu summed up what these people need. Food and water. This is the most precious material in the early days, more precious than anything else. Although he still has a lot of inventory, he will never sell it easily. unless there are sufficient food sources. Thinking of this, Su Yu walked towards the distant forest. He has already figured out his next move. Hunting. Before it's dark, go to the forest and see if you can catch 2 deer. With white eyes, it should be easy to hunt. Step through the ruins and come to a forest. Misty white gauze floats softly in the air. The dense trees stand quietly under the blue sky. The sunlight is like strands of golden sand, shining in through the overlapping branches and leaves, and falling on the grass in mottled patterns. Unexpectedly, there is such a beautiful place in the wasteland world. Su Yu suddenly felt a little curious. Just at this moment, he heard a crashing sound. Suddenly my heart moved. There is a river. Su Yu was overjoyed and hurried forward. Water is the source of all things, and there will be everything. After breaking through the dense bushes, a clear stream came into my eyes after a while. The creek is crystal clear, and the fat fish in the lake are jumping. On both sides of the creek, the goats who were drinking water looked at Su Yu and were about to run away. Where to run? Naturally, Su Yu would not let the prey in front of him run away. The white eyes opened instantly. The body of the goat turned into a piece of data in front of him, and he could easily grasp the acupoints of its body in the next move. Whizzing, the sword in his hand was thrown out by Su Yu directly. Predicting the goat's next move one step in advance, it precisely passed through the goat's head and inserted it into the ancient tree behind it. You successfully killed the goat. Deduction point plus 50. Deduction point. It turns out that killing these small beasts can also get deduction points. Then if you kill a beast or a mutated creature, you can definitely get more points. Heart ecstasy. You know, for Su Yu, the deduction point is extremely important. Only with enough deduction points can he master more skills. It seems that no creature can be spared in the future. This is another way to increase the deduction besides the treasure chest, and he will naturally not let it go. Netizens who saw this scene fry the pot again. What speed is this? Too fast. In the blink of an eye, the goat is dead. Su Yu, I thought the sword was an ornament, but I didn't expect him to use a sword. What's all the fuss about? He's awakened after all, isn't this power normal? That is to say, Yulong Kingdom people really don't know much. Foreign dogs, crawl for me. Su Yu didn't know the people in the live broadcast room, and they discussed it because of his own actions. At this time, he had already walked to the goat and started to deal with it. Swipe swipe. After 2 flashes of sword light, the goat had been skinned for meat. Good. Su Yu lifted the mutton. It feels like at least 150 catties, which is enough to eat by myself for a long time. Just when Su Yu wanted to put away the mutton. Ho, ho, ho. There was a howl of wild animals in the forest, and then dust was seen flying. Obviously running towards him. Use the white eyes to look away. Then I saw a giant rhino running towards me 500 meters away. The trees blocking the way were smashed into pieces under its huge horns. Well done, buy one get one free. Naturally, Su Yu would not let go of the presents. Put the mutton in your hand into the game backpack, and the sword in your hand is in front of you. Waiting for the deduction point to be delivered to your door. The rhino has a huge body with strong limbs and a rock-solid surface. The sharp rhino horns look powerful. A few seconds later, the giant rhino had come 300 meters away. Su Yu raised the ancient sword in his hand high. Swipe swipe. Danced 2 sword flowers casually, waiting for the food to be delivered to the door. Ow! Rhino seems to have sensed Su Yu's contempt. The gray pupils gradually turned red, white air was sprayed from the nostrils, and the speed increased again. Bang! Between lightning and flint, the ancient sword in his hand had already made contact with the rhinoceros horn, splashing sporadic flames. Sure enough, Su Yu was also secretly speechless. Under his full blow, the horn of the bull was not cut off. Obviously, this rhino has mutated and is by no means an ordinary rhino. I thought so in my heart. The action is not slow. With a dodge, he barely avoided the rhino's attack. In the director's hall, when the 4 experts saw the rhinoceros, they recognized its identity and explained it to everyone. Everyone pay attention, this is a mutant rhino. Looking at its size, it is several times that of a normal rhinoceros, and its skin is as hard as a lin armor. I guess it's an F-rank mutant beast. It should have inherited the defense and strength of the rhino. Suyu knows the attributes of this rhino better than experts. Open the game panel to query. Earth rhinoceros. Level. Grade E. Description. Because of eating contaminated food, it has mutated, and its defense is extremely strong. This rhinoceros is an E-class beast, far higher than experts predicted. The levels of beasts are divided into F, E, D, C, B, A, S, SS, SSS. Every level of promotion will undergo qualitative changes. When he found out that the opponent was E rank, he had already put away his contempt. Bion fully launched. With a leap, he avoided the rhino's collision again. Holding the ancient sword with both hands, he slashed with all his strength. After a white light, the right hoof of the rhino was scratched by the sword. Don't wait for the rhino to react. Flip your wrist. He stabbed out a sword and stabbed 10 centimeters below the rhino's chest. This is the weakness detected under the white eyes. In the eyes of Suyu, the rhinoceros at this time has all its weaknesses exposed. Of course he won't let it go. Prickly. After the sound of breaking through the air, the ancient sword accurately pierced the rhino's lifeblood. Blood spurted like a fountain. The rhino snorted and fell to the ground, its huge eyes full of fear. It doesn't understand why Suyu found his weakness so quickly. That is the only weakness under the hard exterior. In just a few seconds, it was all over. In the eyes of everyone, Suyu knocked down the rhinoceros with just a stab of a sword. The rest of the movements are invisible to them. That's it. Is this F-rank rhino too weak? It's okay if you don't have hands. Yeah, it looks fierce, but it's so unbearable. I see. This rhino is just mutated, although it's big, it's about the same as an ordinary rhino. At this time, several experts in the director room also made reasonable explanations. Expert Dong. That's right, this is a possibility for my friend. The strength of the newly mutated beasts is very unstable. Many beasts just look strong, but they are actually weak. That's very likely to be the case with this rhino. Otherwise, it's hard to explain how an F-rank beast could be dealt with so easily. You must know that the rhinoceros is famous for its defensive power. In terms of leather armor alone, it is difficult for ordinary pistols to penetrate, let alone cold weapons. To sum up, it can be determined that this rhino has just mutated. At this moment, Suyu had already raised the ancient sword in his hand. Beheaded the rhinoceros. At the same time, a world announcement floated out of the wasteland world. Congratulations to Suyu, the first time to kill a mutant beast and achieve the achievement of the first kill. Get rewards. Points plus 200, Primary Resource Pack X1, Food Supply Pack X1. After the announcement, the system prompt sounded in Suyu's mind. You successfully killed the E-class beast, and you got plus 400 deduction points. Really? The higher the level, the more deduction points. This undoubtedly made Suyu extremely excited. There are too many abilities he wants to deduce. The other side. Next to a small fishing village in the east of the wasteland world. 15 men dressed as ninjas, armed with iron swords, are besieging a mutated wild boar. Boss, those stupid contestants never imagined that we would give up building shelters to hunt ferocious beasts. The reward for the first kill will be ours soon. A short man bowed his waist and humbly said to the even shorter man in front of him. Yaoshi, dry it, hurry up and kill this beast. Hi, the leading short man was named Yumagawa Niku. Be the captain of this ninja squad. The purpose of their trip was to kill a mutant beast. For this reason, they gave up the opportunity to build a shelter. In this wasteland world, there is a reward for killing a beast for the first time. Certain materials and resources can be obtained. This is extremely important in the early stages. Seeing that the wild boar was about to die under the siege of his subordinates. The corners of Yumagawa Niku's lips were raised, waiting for the game announcement. Congratulations to Suyu, the first time to kill a mutant beast and achieve the achievement of the first kill. Finally come. Yumagawa Niku closed his eyes tightly, enjoying the taste of victory. He could imagine the expressions of those players when they saw the announcement. Surprised, dazed, sigh. This feeling is wonderful. Ha ha ha, the first kill reward is mine. Old boss. Mei Chuan Niku, who was enjoying the joy, was suddenly interrupted by his subordinates, and he scolded with some dissatisfaction. What's wrong? We were cut off. Cut off. Mei Chuan Niku was a little confused. What does that mean? Sight inadvertently saw the world announcement. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Question mark question mark question mark. Suyu. Why it's not me. Bagaga Road. What's the situation? Like an angry lion, Yumagawa Nico kicked down the subordinate in front of him. He drew the samurai sword in front of him and slashed at the air, venting his anger. He had previously only cared about feeling the thrill of victory. But he didn't notice that the player mentioned in the announcement was not himself. He hates it. If he did it himself, he might have won the first kill. He was too confident and didn't help his teammates. But now, it's too late. Only the player who kills first can eat meat, and the rest of the soup is not allowed to drink. Find out for me. Find out Suyu's identity and location at all costs. I want to kill him. To relieve the hatred in my heart. Mei Chuan Niku's angry roar echoed throughout the fishing village. Several subordinates trembled in fear under his anger. The players in the Wasteland world, when they received the world announcement, their hands also paused. Suyu. This name sounds familiar. Fake. I remembered. That lucky guy from Longguo. It can't be him. He is only one person. How could he kill the E-rank beast? Could it be that the Yabai team is with him? This is very reasonable. The overall strength of the Yabai team is very strong. Coupled with the captain's identity as an awakened person, it is enough to kill E-level beasts. When the players were discussing, they were also envious. They naturally know the existence of the first kill achievement. But they dare not. If you are not fully prepared, you will never make a move. Otherwise, the first kill might not be completed, and he would become the food of the beast instead. The other side. The members of the Yabai team also received the first kill announcement at the same time. After discussion, their ideas were surprisingly the same. This player named Suyu is by no means the Suyu of his own country. The two just have the same name. Joke. Players who enter the Wasteland world for the first time can kill fierce beasts. Still immortal. This is impossible. Absolutely impossible. It's a fantasy. At the same time, everyone in Suyu's live broadcast went crazy. Includes 4 experts. They can't figure it out. How did the promised low-level mutated beast turn into an E-rank in an instant? Still beheaded. Is this human? Even if the ability is awakened, it shouldn't be so strong. The audience and experts completely knelt down. Yanjing, in the meeting room. Several leaders were watching the live broadcast with the old man. When I saw Suyu killing the rhino, several leaders stood up unconsciously. When the game prompts that it is an E-class beast, the entire meeting room suddenly fell silent. Needle drop can be heard. They think like the experts. Everyone thinks it is an F-rank beast. In the end, it turned out to be E-grade. Still beheaded. How strong is this? Is this the strength that a junior awakener can possess? Go and collect Suyu's file information again, don't miss any point. At the same time, classify Suyu's file confidentiality as S-level, don't let it out. The old man gave each order indifferently. The originally excited leader nodded secretly when he saw the old man so calm. As expected of their great leader, this calm attitude is worth learning from. What they didn't know was that the fists under the sleeves of the old man had been tightly clenched. My heart has already been overwhelmed. This Suyu is an absolute genius. You can kill E-level beasts just after awakening. If you focus on cultivation. The future may be limitless. At this time, the leaders of various countries paid attention to Suyu because of this scene. Either openly or secretly inquired about his information. At this time, Suyu had already dealt with the land rhinoceros. This rhino is full of treasures. The horns are very hard and can be used to make weapons. The fur is very tough, and together with the hard scales, it can be made into leather armor with strong defense. As for rhino meat, did not let go. The game has already introduced that this rhino mutated because of eating contaminated food. It is difficult to guarantee that its body contains toxins. Suyu naturally wouldn't eat it. However, it can be sold to players who need food. For example, the country of Lang, or the country of Yingzhong. At that time, I can still cut a batch of leeks. Before leaving, Suyu also used a piece of animal skin to make a simple water bottle. Fill a bottle with stream water. Then he walked towards the hut. There was no danger along the way, and we returned to the camp smoothly. I simply thought for a while. Su Yu decided to build the fence first. At this time, the time has come to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It will be dark in 2 more hours. After dark, the game officially begins. Chapter 11. At this time, the debris robot returned to the camp with a pile of supplies. Master, I'm back. The materials collected this time are stone X40, wood X50, iron X20. The robot flashed red lights and reported the specific situation to Su Yu. It's hard work, go and charge it aside. After receiving the robot's materials, Su Yu gave instructions. There are 2 main sources of energy for robots in the wasteland world. One is the solar panel carried by itself, which is charged by the sun. The other is to use energy blocks for charging. Su Yu naturally chose the former, and let the robot charge itself while the sun was still there. And he has already opened the operation page. Build a fence. You consume wood blocks X50, dirt X30, and successfully build a fence. 3 minutes later, a simple wooden fence appeared to surround the hut. You consume stone X80, dirt X50, and successfully upgraded the fence to level 2. Not Su Yu wasting resources. The first level fence is really broken. Ordinary people can be crushed with 1 kick, let alone block the attack of monsters. Fence. Level 2. Introduction. The relatively hard stone wall can withstand a small amount of attacks. The upgraded fence has become a simple stone wall made of stone blocks, with a height of more than 1 meter, which looks much safer. That's what makes sense. Su Yu nodded in satisfaction, and then walked into the hut, ready to build a warehouse. You consume iron block X50 and successfully built a warehouse. Brush. An iron warehouse appears in the clearing. Storehouse. Level 1. Introduction. You can store resources or food here, and the food can maintain a certain degree of freshness. There are 100 grids in total. Su Yu put food and some unused blueprints and resources in it, and it filled up quickly. The next step is to cut leeks. Mutated rhinoceros meat cannot be eaten, so it is naturally sold to players who need it. Replace it with supplies and use it to build a camp. As for the consequences after the contestants eat it, none of my business. Here I have to say the thoughtfulness of the wasteland world. The game has a very practical function, anonymity. It is what you are familiar with. When entering an anonymous state. Published news, outsiders cannot find out your identity. At the same time, the other party cannot find out your identity during the transaction. This is why Su Yu entered the house to operate. The purpose is to avoid the live broadcast and not be discovered by outsiders. Thinking of this, Su Yu turned on the World Channel and posted a message. Anonymous. Sold a lot of beef, you can exchange it with supplies or blueprints. Immediately afterwards, a photo of the hill-like piece of meat was sent out. Countless contestants went crazy after seeing the picture. Many players hadn't eaten since they came in, and they were already dizzy from hunger. At this moment, the impact of this photo on them can be imagined. Hungry players, as if seeing a gluttonous dog and other bones. At this moment, countless people began to chat with Su Yu privately, begging and threatening. Where did the boss get the food? Why so much? Little big brother, I don't have any materials yet, why don't you give me some food first, after I go out, I can accompany you. Brother, how many caddies can I exchange for 400 units of wooden blocks? Brother, do you need salt? I have a lot here. I have a lot of gold, give me 2 caddies. I am a noble eagle sauce man, do you know what I mean? I am a member of the royal family of Langguo, I order you, give me the food. Quote. Sand sculpture. Naturally, Su Yu didn't care about the threats to the players. They are the ones who cheated. Skip several friendly countries. Su Yu put the focus of the transaction on countries such as Langguo, Eagle Sauce, and America. There is no other reason. Simply like it. During the transaction, Wang Peng also found Su Yu, trying to buy some rhino meat. Su Yu made an excuse casually and refused directly. Although the other party didn't help him, and he didn't know his identity. However, as a native of the Dragon Kingdom, it is impossible to cheat one's own compatriots. The contestant Maikwan Niku trades you 20 units of meat with 500 units of wood. The player Tuo'er Suo trades 15 units of meat with you for 30 units of gold. The player, Selfin, trades 10 units of meat with you for 100 units of stones. The player, Obadiah, trades 50 units of meat with you for 50 units of agate. In a short time, more than 2,000 caddies of rhino meat disappeared. Become a large resource. Wood blocks, stone blocks, iron blocks, gold, sand, and various blueprints. The small hut was directly filled with various things. Seeing so many supplies, Suyu smiled. There was a hint of resentment and gloating in the smile. These little cuties didn't know that they were tricked by themselves. As for what kind of harm these foods will cause, Suyu is not very clear. Most likely diarrhea. Now he has the materials to build all the buildings in the shelter and upgrade them to level 3. Think here. Suyu called up the operation page, thinking about the next move. You consume iron block X50, stone block X50, alloy X20, and successfully build a forging platform. You consume wood block X20, cotton X15, and successfully build a bed. You consume iron block X30, wood block X20, and flint and steel X4 to successfully build a bonfire. Your shelter has been successfully upgraded to level 2. A series of game prompts sounded in the room. Suyu built all the equipment needed. The small house that was originally only 50 square meters was also expanded to 100 square meters after the upgrade. Suyu looked at the various devices in front of him and felt a headache. It's time to plan the refuge well. Just do it. Suyu called up the operation interface and divided the entire shelter into 3 rooms. Sort different types of equipment into different rooms. On the left is the lounge, which contains beds and daily necessities. On the right-hand side is the studio, where forging tables, warehouses and other equipment are placed, which are used for the construction and upgrading of daily equipment. The last one is the toilet, which is used for daily cleaning. In the wasteland world, hygiene needs extra attention. After all, in the early stage, all kinds of medicines were extremely difficult to find. If a player gets sick, it will directly affect the progress of the game. The bonfire was placed in the open space outside the house by Suyu. In addition to cooking, campfires can also be used for simple lighting. In this world, there are no street lights at night, only bonfires or torches are used for lighting. Unless you have drawings of the lighting fixtures. After cleaning up briefly, Suyu walked out of the room, ready to cook. The time has come to 5:30. In the entire wasteland world, the sky has gradually darkened. Campfires have been lit outside countless shelters. The players are preparing dinner. In the wasteland world, food production is very simple. In order to save time, contestants generally use the most primitive cooking techniques. Simply grill or simply poach. The contestants who got rhino meat from Suyu were grilling rhino meat by the campfire. There are also many contestants who send the prepared barbecue to the chat channel to show off. Those players who didn't eat almost collapsed. He secretly scolded Suyu for not selling the food to himself. Meanwhile, Suyu also set up the grill. Take out a goat leg from the backpack, put it on a wooden stick, and roast it. The aroma of roasting, the wafting smoke, and the blackened charcoal fire are like a picnic. The grilled meat sizzled, and drops of hot oil slowly slid down the lines of the plump meat, which was fascinating. Take some fine salt and sprinkle it on the leg of lamb. That's it for a simple meal. Suyu grabbed the leg of lamb and took a hard bite. Hiss. The goat itself has a lot of exercise, and it bursts out with a unique taste under the flame roasting. Not greasy or smelly, crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, the meat is delicious and has a unique flavor. Perfect. Suyu nodded in satisfaction and began to eat. Now, the audience in the live broadcast room couldn't bear it anymore. My mother, isn't this a wasteland world? How can you give me the feeling of watching a food show? Boss Su really has a skill, not to mention his superb swordsmanship, but he is also good at making barbecue. Suyu, I really have you. I'm hungry. Woo. Did Suyu come to torture me? HMPH. It's going to be dark soon, let's see how he will fill the cup. Quote. On the other side, the Yabai team finally caught a hare after several efforts. A hare is shared by 7 people. This day is too miserable. On the lawn, Wang Peng patted his stomach and complained. He was given a rabbit leg, which was gone before he could taste anything. He took the lead in provoking the topic and asked his teammates. Who did you say that anonymous person was? Why didn't you trade with us? He was curious about the identity of the anonymous person, but he couldn't figure out the identity of the other party, so he could only throw this question to his smart teammates. It should be someone from the enemy country. A man with glasses spoke first. His name is Zhuo Wenhao, and he is considered a think tank in the team. I saw Zhuo Wenhao pushing his glasses lightly, and said to himself. The reason is simple. Those countries have always wanted to curb the development of Dragon Kingdom. It can be deduced from the fact that they don't sell us food. Think about it, he sells players from any country, but he won't sell them to us. Isn't that obvious? After dinner, with the last ray of light in the sky erased, an announcement appeared in front of all the players. The night is coming, and there will be a large number of monsters coming. Please try to stay in the room and don't go out. Wish you guys good luck. Sure enough, it came. At this moment, Su Yu didn't panic at all. His current refuge has been upgraded to level 2. Depending on the fortitude of the shelter, they can survive the first night. But Su Yu won't do that. Those monsters are deduction points in his eyes. If he wants to deduce points, he must kill them. This time, his leaks became those monsters. Following the game prompt, the entire land was shrouded in darkness. There was a suffocating smell in the air, and the breath of death began to spread in this land. It's getting dark, the first night of the Wasteland world is coming. I don't know who will win the top spot this night. I guess it's Eagle Sauce Country. Many of their players have already gathered together. After all, there are more people and more power. It's hard to say. I think Torso from the United States has a good chance. He successfully created a troll. Isn't it just one shot to kill zombies? I think the Ronin team is very confident. Look at their standing posture, how confident and eye-catching. The Yubai team of the Dragon Kingdom is also preparing for battle, and the traps and deployments are ready. Look, there seems to be something wrong with the Ronin team, they all ran away. I'll do it. It's the same with Ying Zhang, everyone has run back into the room. Hey, what's wrong with Torso? Why did he fall down and get up? Something went wrong. For some unknown reason, these contestants ran into the refuge with their stomachs in their arms. This, Langguo player, how can you do such a thing in public? It's really a tasteful live broadcast Ruma. Over time, the rhino meat sold by Su Yu has finally shown its effectiveness. Those contestants who ate the rhino meat felt unwell, and their bodies gradually became weak, followed by abdominal pains. An urge to go to the bathroom came to my mind. Is this a bad stomach? The players couldn't figure it out. They obviously pay attention to the safety of food. The water is boiled and the food is cooked. Personal hygiene and temperature are also no problem. Then why do you have a stomachache? Wait, food. Food has a problem. Smart players have already thought of the possibility of problems. There is something wrong with the food served by Anonymous. When they found that their companions were also in trouble, they understood that the problem was the food. But they couldn't care less about this problem because of the abdominal pain, and ran into the toilet with their stomachs in their arms. Those contestants who didn't grab the toilet didn't care about being broadcast live, so they could only solve it on the spot. Now, the entire Wasteland world is in chaos. There's a stench in the air. In the World Channel, Maikwan Niku. Anonymous, don't let me find you. I will definitely kill you. In Maikwan Niku's heart, Anonymous has been equated with Su Yu and has become a member of his must-kill list. But he didn't know that Su Yu was Anonymous. Torso. Fake squid. Anonymous. There is a way to reveal your identity. Obadiah. Anonymous, I have already guessed your identity, you wait to die. Kimchi country contestant. Osiba. My stomach. Anonymous, wait for me. Contestants from other countries. Anonymous. Su Yu watched the chat channel scrolling, and secretly smiled. He knew his purpose had been achieved. With his help, those players have already been abolished. At this moment, there was a sound of thin footsteps in the air, and a roar like a ghost horn. Coming, Su Yu immediately got up and put away his laughing mood, his eyes instantly opened. He saw 5 zombies walking staggeringly 400 meters away. His face was covered with viscous blood, his facial features were distorted, and his face was hideous. There were still bloody furs hanging from the bared teeth, and a few drops of blood dripped from the ground. Mutated zombie. Level. Normal level. Introduction. It is caused by high-intensity radiation and gene mutation. Possess a super strong physique and vitality. The body is driven by instinct, only killing. These zombies were the main monsters that appeared on the first night. These zombies are not strong, only stronger than ordinary people. The really scary thing is that they are group creatures. As long as there is a sound, countless zombies will be attracted. Use crowd tactics to exhaust the players alive. Moreover, these zombies do not feel pain, and ordinary attacks cannot affect them. Only fatal wounds can kill them. After seeing Su Yu, the group of zombies changed their expression suddenly, as if they saw their prey. There were roars one after another, and Jia Chong came. Snort. Su Yu snorted coldly, and also ran towards the zombies. Rustle. In the dark night, only a white sword light was seen. Subsequently, 5 heads fell to the ground. Ding, you successfully killed mutant zombies X5, deduction points plus 100. Su Yu's eyes lit up instantly. These zombies, in his eyes, are the best gifts. Far more attractive than those drawings. The sound of fighting attracted the attention of more zombies. In this way, after a batch of dead, a new batch of zombies came running. A steady stream. Deduce it, I'm coming. Su Yu drew out his ancient knife and went to meet him. Rustle. Bang bang bang. Every time he makes a shot, countless heads fall to the ground. Since then, the reminder sound in Su Yu's mind has not stopped. Ding, you successfully killed mutant zombies X3, deduction points plus 60. Ding, you successfully killed mutant zombies X5, deduction points plus 100. Ding, you successfully killed mutant zombies X4, deduction points plus 80. With Su Yu in a state of blank eyes, he can easily predict the movement and attack routes of these zombies. Dodge their attacks one step ahead and fight back. Coupled with 360-degree observation without dead angle, no zombie can touch him. At the same time, Su Yu's primary breathing skill was also activated, providing a steady stream of spiritual power. Su Yu in the dark night is like a god of death, harvesting the lives of zombies. All do it. Is this the strength of the sword immortal? 6666. Su Yu is indeed a big boss, one sword and one small zombie. The same zombie will never hand out a second sword. My god, since Su Yu came to the wasteland world, the worldview I established has collapsed. It used to be zombies chasing people, it's reversed here at Su Yu, become people chasing zombies. Kneel to Boss Su, please stop pretending. Who said that the wasteland world is difficult? Come out, look at Su Yu's behavior, does it mean it is a little difficult? Brother, you can see how difficult it is when you look at other players. Come here, take my Fang Tian painting halberd and peel a pear for Su Yu. Quote. People who are watching Su Yu's live broadcast are crazy. Su Yu's various god-level operations infinitely refreshed everyone's 3 views. Who would have imagined that Su Yu would face the zombies in such a direct way? Passionate, stimulating, makes people's blood boil. There were awakened people who did this kind of thing before, but those people stopped eating after a few minutes. Doesn't have the staying power of Su Yu at all. At the same time, Su Yu has attracted the attention of countless female audiences with his chic swordsmanship and looks comparable to readers. They swiped all kinds of barrage in the live broadcast room. Husband, I love you. Mwah. People like it very much. Very handsome. I'm going to give you a monkey. On the other hand, the situation of other players in the wasteland world is in stark contrast to Su Yu. Many players have been slaughtered by zombies. Especially those players who have eaten rhino meat. They were weak and were overwhelmed by the zombie army before they had time to react. Or become a pile of bones, or be infected and become a zombie, joining the army of zombies. At this moment, netizens in various countries are angry. It is really annoying that the player they supported died in such an aggrieved way. Many netizens spontaneously created momentum on various platforms to attract the attention of the authorities. I hope that the official can take action to find out the identity of the anonymous person and avenge the players. In fact, the officials are far more anxious than those audiences. Those contestants are the hope of the country. The death of every player is a loss to the country. As early as when the problem arose, the authorities had already taken action. Quickly assemble an investigative team. All kinds of information are collected and analyzed. The result is naturally a failure. Su Yu's actions were too stealthy, without any flaws at all. No matter how these countries act, they will not be able to find out the truth of all this. An hour later, countless zombie corpses had fallen beside Su Yu. A lot of sweat oozed from his forehead, and the blood of the zombies dyed the white t-shirt red. The left hand holding the sword began to tremble slightly. During the 1-hour battle, Su Yu never rested, and his body was always in a state of high tension. At this moment, exhaustion has swept through the whole body, and most of the spiritual power has been consumed. The number of zombies has begun to decrease. There is no new army of zombies to come to supplement. It looks like it's over. While Nan Nan was talking to herself, a sword light pierced through. A zombie that wanted to attack him was killed instantly. Look at the remaining 10 zombies in the field. Su Yu decided to make a quick decision and return to the shelter early to rest. The footsteps are vigorous, and the last physical strength is completely exploded, and the whole person is shot out like a bullet. Bang dang dang. The sound of swords, footsteps, and roars of zombies resounded throughout the forest. After a few breaths, Su Yu walked out of the forest leisurely. Not a single zombie survived behind him. This battle, Su Yu naturally reaped a lot. The system deduction point has exceeded 10,000. The game points also reached more than 5,000 points, and the first place in the kill list has been won tonight. After checking the points, Su Yu was preparing to return to the shelter. Suddenly, a pitch-black figure sprang out from the forest, moving surreptitiously without making any sound. This is a half-meter-long wild cat. The black hair is completely hidden in the night, and the golden eyes are shining with agility. It had been lying in ambush here for a long time, waiting for Su Yu to relax his vigilance. Now seeing his prey, he turned his back completely. Naturally, the black cat will not let go of the opportunity. With a strong kick on the hind legs, it turned into a black lightning bolt and rushed straight towards the prey. Bang! Clang! Su Yu didn't even look back. The ancient sword in his hand had blocked the black cat's attack. The black cat is waiting for Su Yu, so Su Yu is waiting for it. Because of the ability of Supercilious, Su Yu spotted it very early on. Only then did he deliberately show his flaws, waiting for the black cat to make a move. Sure enough, the black cat was fooled. He could only watch his body helplessly as he slammed into the ancient sword. Meow. After humming unwillingly, the black cat's body was split in half by the sharp ancient sword. Ding! You successfully killed the mutant wild cat, deduction point plus 100. Now, the forest was completely quiet. After Su Yu glanced around with his white eyes, he nodded reassuringly. Walked towards the shelter. There was no danger along the way, and he returned to the refuge in a short time. Welcome home, Master. The robot standing guard at the door saw Su Yu and immediately went up to say hello. Su Yu nodded in agreement. Only then did he check the situation of the shelter. The fence and walls were not damaged, and nothing abnormal was found. Then he walked into the room with peace of mind. In the room, Su Yu sat cross-legged on the ground to recover his spiritual power, and made a post-war summary. After this battle, he found that there are still many shortcomings. Bayan's detection ability is indeed very strong. Dugu 9 Swords Heads Up is also very powerful. But there is no strong synergy between the two. Because Dugu 9 Swords is a melee skill, the most suitable ability for Bayan is long distance. Only with a long-range attack can Bayan's most powerful ability be brought into play. You must know that Bayan's ability is to detect the distance. You don't need to attack from a distance, you will directly weaken Bayan's ability. Therefore, the first thing Su Yu has to do is to deduce a long-range attack ability. To be used with white eyes. This is the real incomprehension. The second is to practice exercises. Su Yu discovered that at the later stage of the battle, the replenishment of spiritual power was not enough for consumption. You must know that spiritual power is the foundation of his existence. This is a fatal shortcoming. If the supply of spiritual power is insufficient, he cannot use abilities such as white eyes, which will directly affect his combat effectiveness. What's the difference between having skills but not being able to release them, and super soldiers? Therefore, Su Yu has to deduce the cultivation method to increase the speed of spiritual power acquisition. What ability should I choose? He rested his cheeks and thought about it. Su Yu now has 12,000 deduction points. As long as it is used reasonably, it is enough to deduce two powerful abilities. The problem facing Su Yu now is what ability to deduce. Thinking of this, Su Yu asked about the system. System, how many deduction points are needed to deduce Chidori? System, this is a B-level ability, which requires 100,000 deduction points. 6 Paths of Reincarnation Heavenly Art. This is an SSS level exercise that requires 10 million deduction points. Fire Punch. This is a B-level ability that requires 50,000 deduction points. It was only then that Su Yu realized that both were B-level abilities, and the deduction points required were also different. Curious to ask why, the system responded quickly. It turns out that the ability of the same B-level is also divided into strengths and weaknesses, and the deduction points required are naturally different. Now Su Yu was completely worried. He only has more than 10,000 points, and those high-level abilities can be directly ruled out. Only low-level skills can be deduced. After thinking briefly, Su Yu finally made a decision. Fire Escapea Phoenix Immortal Fire Art. As an AoE skill, it has high damage, large range, and a long-range attack. It is very suitable for me now. System, I want to deduce the Phoenix Immortal Fire technique. After finishing speaking, Su Yu also made seal gestures in the second grade, Ziyin Shuqiu Mao Yin. In my mind, I recalled the scene of using the Fengxian Fire technique. Ding, are you sure to spend 7,000 deduction points to deduce the Phoenix Immortal Fire technique? The system prompt sounds. Confirm. Su Yu nodded. Boom. There was a roar in his ears, and Su Yu's mind shook. Then I saw a red villain floating in the sea of AA consciousness, quickly making seals in his hands, making various changes. After the seal was completed, the little mouth spit out fireballs continuously, and the attack trajectory was like the fruit of the impatience. This exactly coincides with the picture Su Yu imagined. With the help of the system, Su Yu quickly entered the state. Follow the villain to imitate, form seals, and feel the direction of spiritual power. Crack, crack, after the sound of firecrackers. Groups of tiny flames spit out from Su Yu's mouth. Gradually, the flames became bigger and bigger, and finally became a fist-sized fireball. Soon, Su Yu's whole body was wrapped in a flame. Before he knew it, he had become a fire awakener. If outsiders find out, I'm afraid I'll be pissed to death. The power of elements that others have worked so hard to awaken. Su Yu didn't need it, he could awaken under the system's deduction. In essence, Su Yu has the possibility of awakening all the elements of the system. As long as he deduces different elemental skills, he will unlock different elemental powers. For example, to deduce the ability of the lightning system, he is the awakened person of the lightning system. Deduce the ability of the earth element, that is, the awakener of the earth element. In this world, there are some dual-line awakeners. But Su Yu is the omnipotent awakener. The fire light quickly disappeared and gradually merged into Su Yu's body. I felt the fiery temperature. While whispering softly, Su Yu opened his eyes, and he felt a change in his body. Ding, congratulations to the host, successfully deduced the Phoenix Immortal Fire technique. The system prompt sounded, indicating that he had mastered the technique of Phoenix Immortal Fire, and the rest needed to be more proficient. Phoenix Fire Art C-level ability, send out several fireballs in succession to attack the target. Basic Fire Element ability has been unlocked. Unlock the Fire Element ability. System, what does this mean? System, the host has become a primary fire awakener, and can use primary fire magic to attack. Then a golden light entered Su Yu's mind. Gradually, he understood that he had become a fire awakener. But because Phoenix Immortal Fire Art is only a C-level ability, my current ability to control flames is equivalent to a D-level fire awakener in the real world. But this also made Su Yu very excited. With a thought, a ball of flame danced in his hand. At the same time, a violent force pervaded the entire room. So this is the ability of the Elemental Awakener. After taking the flame back into the body, Su Yu continued to think about which practice method to choose. He wanted to deduce a kung fu method that could obtain a lot of spiritual power. It is best to practice simply. Suddenly, Su Yu thought of a practice, which was very suitable for him. Yi Jin Jing. Shaolin Temple secret treasures. It has been described by others as the ability to turn decay into magic. After practice, the spiritual power, internal power, will continue to flow, making it inexhaustible and inexhaustible. It can be seen that the Yi Jin Jing is terrible. Secondly, the practice of Yi Jin Jing has reached the point where it can be operated endlessly without thinking, and the skill can be continuously improved even in sleep. This kind of salted fish type of exercise is suitable for me now. Even in sleep, spiritual power can grow, it's perfect. Thinking of this, Su Yu asked about the system. How many deduction points are needed for Yi Jin Jing? Ding, this is AC level exercise that requires 5,000 deduction points. 5,000 points, just enough. Su Yu has already made a decision. System. I want to deduce Yi Jin Jing. As he spoke, Su Yu recited the mantra silently. Stand upright, hold your arms around your chest, keep your spirit calm, your heart is clear and your appearance is respectful. In my mind, I recalled the exercises of Yi Jin Jing. Ding, are you sure to spend 5,000 deduction points to deduce Yi Jin Jing? Confirm. After confirming, Su Yu's sea of AA consciousness shook. A bald man appeared in the sea of AA consciousness. Su Yu acts with the villain. Bend the elbows of both arms, and slowly raise them to the chest to form a ball-holding posture. Bend the wrists and stand upright, with the fingers facing upwards and the palms facing each other. Suddenly, I felt a surge of spiritual energy in my body. Keep your feet shoulder-width apart, keep your feet firm, and your knees slightly loose. Slowly stretch your hands out from your chest until your sides are raised. There are 12 poses in total. Under the guidance of the villain, Su Yu completed them one by one. The spiritual power in the body gradually expanded and strengthened. Boom! There was a sound of breaking through the air. Su Yu's clothes bulged instantly, creating airflow visible to the naked eye. Continuously coming towards Su Yu. In the state of rolling his eyes, Su Yu quickly mastered these gestures. The operation of acupuncture points is also mastered by him. Ding, congratulations to the host, the successful performance of Yi Jin Jing. Ding, congratulations to the host, your cultivation has successfully reached the middle stage of the second order. Breakthrough. Su Yu could only feel the spiritual power in his body growing wildly and thickly. Overjoyed, I opened the system panel to view it. Host. Su Yu. Cultivation level. Middle stage of the second order. Spiritual power. 401 thousandths. Abilities. White Eyes LV 151 thousandths. Elementary breathing. Dugu 9 Swords LV3 41,200ths. Phoenix Immortal Fire Technique LV1 11 300ths. Yi Jin Jing LV1 15 300ths. Deduction point. 0. It's a pity that there is no deduction point, otherwise the Yi Jin Jing will be upgraded to the third level and take off directly. Talking to himself, Su Yu was also curious. I have never encountered a bottleneck in my upgrade. It stands to reason that each stage of improvement has a bottleneck, but I have never encountered it. Is it because of the system? In fact, apart from system factors, Su Yu's own cultivation talent is also excellent. According to the novel, this person is the proud son of heaven, a genius who is unique in cultivation. That's why he has no bottlenecks, and he can upgrade quickly. A. Successfully deduced 2 abilities, plus the feeling of weakness after the war. Su Yu was hungry again. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. He took out a piece of bread from his backpack and clicked on the World Channel to view it while eating. At this time, the number of online users above the chat channel became 1547. This time in the Wasteland world, there are a total of 2,532 people. This number means that 985 players died in the first night. A horrendous death rate. Although there is credit for rhino meat, the death rate is still terrible. Turn your gaze back to the chat channel. Mei Chuan Niku. Ha ha ha, I have killed more than 30 zombies in total, this time the number 1 kill list is mine. Torso. Idiot, I killed 50 zombies, and none of them dared to speak. Why are you barking? Kimchi Country contestant. How did you kill so many zombies? I survived by hiding in the shelter. Selvin. Kimchi Country, you don't deserve to know why. Do you know who is the player who has killed the most zombies? It seems to be Yi Qing from the Dragon Kingdom. She killed more than 70 zombies. Fact. 70. How did she do it? A. Seeing this, Su Yu already understood almost everything. There are only 70, and the first place on the list is none other than yourself. Putting the last piece of bread into his mouth, he closed the chat channel. Walked towards the studio. He's going to build a few changes of laundry. This body is already covered with blood and sweat, and it needs to be washed, so it can be thrown away. In front of the forging table, Su Yu called up the production page. Rhino leather jacket. Production requirements. Earth rhinoceros leather X10, normal fur X5, thin thread X10. You have successfully produced rhino leather clothes. 10 minutes later, a black leather jacket appeared in Su Yu's hands. Rhino leather clothes bronze level. Durability, 30/30. Defense +25, agility +4, carrying +5. You consumed iron block X30 and successfully forged an iron axe. You consume iron block X30 and successfully forged an iron chisel. You consume plastic X50 and successfully build a bathtub. After changing the leather clothes, Su Yu also made a set of iron tools. Iron gathering tools can increase the gathering speed by 10%. In the early stage of the game, it is the most commonly used tool for players. At this moment, Su Yu was smelly all over, so he naturally needed to wash it off. Go get me a basin of stream water. Su Yu handed the bathtub to the robot and gave the order. He was not idle while waiting for the robot to return. Turn on the supercilious power and try your luck. It stands to reason that the treasure chest has been refreshed. It depends on your luck, whether you can find the treasure chest. Left, no. Right, no. Front, no. Behind. Behind, there is a treasure chest in the back. In Su Yu's eyes, he could clearly see that there was a golden treasure chest buried in the bones 700 meters away. This luck is invincible. I am the son of destiny. After the surprise, I no longer care about taking a bath. Walk out of the shelter and run towards the treasure chest. Here, Su Yu paid special attention to it. I am worried that my ability to see through will be exposed during the live broadcast. Su Yu didn't go directly to the treasure chest, but pretended to collect materials, collecting various materials near the treasure chest. The screen in the live broadcast room changed, and Su Yu appeared again. In the originally bleak live broadcast room, several barrages floated out. Huh, what's wrong with this contestant? Don't sleep at night, come out to collect. Come on, is there anyone watching the live broadcast at this late hour? I'm waiting for the ranking at 6 o'clock, and I'll sleep after watching it. Upstairs, there is no need to wait for this one. I can tell you clearly that the number 1 kill list must be Boss Su. He killed more than 500 zombies. Who is the first? Brother, don't take me for a fool. How can humans kill 500 zombies? It's true, I saw it with my own eyes. Really, my husband is so strong, I get excited just thinking about it now. Hey, Su Guy, upstairs, don't pretend, I think your avatar is a man, right? Su Yu stayed beside the bone for 10 minutes before walking to the treasure chest. Pretending to inadvertently push aside a pile of bones. A golden treasure chest was lying quietly in the dust. Golden treasure chest. There are sufficient resources in it, and there is a certain chance of obtaining gold-level equipment after opening. I'll do it. I'm colorblind. Who can tell me the color of this treasure chest? Golden color. Are you kidding me? It's really golden. Golden treasure chest. The originally sloppy live broadcast room was completely boiled because of the shiny golden treasure chest. The barrage was overwhelming. At the same time, the leaders of Long Country, Lang Country, Kimchi Country, Shang Country and other countries all received the news immediately. In a certain manner in Yanjing, the sleepy old man is answering the phone. On the phone, the assistant panicked and said, "The leader, something has happened." The old man was startled. Getting his assistant to call late at night must be a major event related to the Dragon Kingdom. If it's a big deal, it can only be a problem of the Wasteland world. Could it be that something happened to the player? No, I remember the night is over, there shouldn't be a problem. After a brief absence, the old man patted his chest to stabilize the soaring blood pressure. Then he reprimanded calmly, "Xiao Lu, have you forgotten what I usually taught you?" Mount Tai collapsed in front of him, but his color remained unchanged. "Look at you again. It's outrageous to be so flustered when something happens." The assistant on the other end of the phone nodded quickly. Taking a deep breath, he finally revealed the amazing news. Su Yu, I found the golden treasure chest. What? Golden treasure chest? Bang! Xiaolu clearly heard the sound of objects falling to the ground. The call was immediately cut off. There was a busy tone of, beep beep. When the old man in the manor heard the golden treasure chest. The phone in his hand has quietly landed. Golden treasure chest. Su Yu. Is this real? After returning to his senses, the old man picked up the landline, wanting to confirm the authenticity of the information. 3 seconds later, the call was connected again. Xiaolu, Su Yu, really found the golden treasure chest? The old man asked uncertainly. Really, me and a few leaders. Do. Before Xiaolu could finish speaking, the mobile phone heard a busy tone again. It seems that the old leader's landline needs to be repaired, and the line is always busy. Messages travel quickly. Less than 2 minutes. There are many unfamiliar IDs in Su Yu's live broadcast room. This includes experts, researchers, leaders, media. As soon as the message is received, they've already arrived here. Witness the moment of unboxing together. Golden treasure chest. Since the pagoda came to this world, it has only appeared 4 times in the whole world. The degree of preciousness can be imagined. In addition, the value of the golden treasure chest is also priceless. Because magical props that change the country can be drawn from it. For example, Eagle Sauce Country once issued blueprints for artificial chips. That is the crystallization of future technology after the robot is installed. Robots evolve directly, and their thinking and learning abilities far exceed ordinary people. For another example, Shangguo once developed an energy mine. Since that day, Shangguo has never been troubled by energy. Become a world-class country. Therefore, every time the golden treasure chest appears, it can attract the attention of the whole world. This time is no exception. Experts from all over the world, holding tablets, stared at the live broadcast room with burning eyes. For them, the props from the golden treasure chest have great research value. The leaders of all countries stared at the live broadcast room without blinking, and prayed silently in their hearts, don't let this kid make good props. Netizens are also paying attention to the development of the matter. At the same time, the lights in the studio were turned on again. 4 experts in suits and leather shoes appeared in the live broadcast room. Expert Wang. It's okay, I didn't miss this thrilling moment. Expert Sun. Yes, I rushed over as soon as I was notified, but luckily I didn't miss it. Expert Dong. Now, let us look forward to the moment when Su Yu opens the golden treasure chest. At this time, bullet screens were flying randomly in the live broadcast room. I fell asleep, but my roommate pulled me up to watch. Me too, this kind of opportunity is too rare, we must not miss it. I'm suddenly so excited. The drawings drawn out are very likely to change the pattern of the world. Whether Dragon Kingdom can take off depends on this wave. Hiss, I'm a little excited for you to say that. No, I'm going to the bathroom to ease my mood. Su Yu naturally also knew the value of the golden treasure chest. However, he never expected that it would cause such a big commotion. Everyone is innocent, but pregnant is guilty. He naturally understands this truth. Therefore, Su Yu didn't intend to open it on the spot, and was going to carry the treasure chest to the shelter before opening it. In this way, the leakage of the live broadcast can be avoided. Everyone just saw Su Yu walking in the night holding a golden treasure chest. Not waiting for everyone to react, Su Yu has already walked into the shelter. The screen in the live broadcast room then switched perspectives. 4 experts, netizens in the live broadcast room. Leaders, reporters and researchers. Fox Squid, Aussie, shame on the motor. Different national quintessences come from the mouths of the people, but the meanings expressed are surprisingly consistent. What is this horse riding? Su Yu, this is too much. Su Yu, it's really you. It successfully aroused my curiosity. It didn't work. It's useless, tonight must be a sleepless night. Woo dollars. In the Longguo conference room, the old man looked at Su Yu's operation with black lines. With a skinny smile, he said, Su Yu is really a child with ideas. Really good, really good. Everyone in the meeting room saw the old man's expression. The cold air hit, my whole body trembled, my hair stood on end, a layer of goosebumps appeared. In the room, the debris robot has returned. After taking a bath and changing clothes, Suyu came to the golden treasure chest devoutly. Excited heart, trembling hands. Opened the golden chest. You successfully opened the golden treasure chest. After a golden light, a bunch of items exploded from the treasure chest. Broken void shoes gold level. Red flame dragon scale leggings gold level. Intermediate energy source X20. Mountain spring eye silver level. Superconducting energy battery blueprint gold level. Simulated neuron chip drawings gold level. Machine gun robot gold level. Intermediate evolution potion X1. Meteorite X100, Chalcedony X100, Agate X100, Golden Phoebe X100, Blackstone X100, Mountain Spring Stone X200. This is too much, not counting those precious materials and drawings. In terms of 2 gold level weapons alone, Suyu is already satisfied. The feeling of opening the treasure chest is really cool. Suyu found that he had fallen in love with this feeling of opening the box. After being intoxicated, he checked the equipment. Broken void shoes gold level. Durability 80/80ths. Sensitivity +30, strength +15, weight +4. Accessory skills. Breaking through the air. After activation, you can instantly move to the designated location. Cooling time is 10 hours. Suyu looked at the black boots in his hand. I didn't expect such ordinary boots to carry such perverted skills. Teleport. This is equivalent to an extra hole card and a chance to save his life. There is nothing to say, this wave of blood earns. After sighing with emotion, Suyu set his sights on another piece of equipment. Those were leggings made of red armor. On the leggings, one could clearly feel a wave of spiritual power. Red flame dragon scale leggings gold level. Durability 80/80ths. Sensitivity +10, defense +13, strength +20, weight +4. Accessory skills. Shield of Scarlet Flame. After opening this skill, a shield can be quickly formed, which can withstand the full blow of AC level beast. The duration is 1 minute, and the cooling time is 8 hours. Defensive skills. It's pretty good. Suyu is very satisfied with these 2 pieces of equipment. After the 2 beams, it was directly equipped up. Mountain Spring Eye silver level. It can produce mountain spring water continuously, not directly drinkable. Required for construction. Mountain Spring Stone X50, Stone Block X40, Soil X40. This is a good thing. After it is built, it can be used together with a water purifier. It has a constant flow of fresh water. And in the early stage, many players did not have enough fresh water. If the fresh water produced is sold, it can be exchanged for a large amount of supplies. Thinking of this, Suyu directly learned the blueprint and opened the operation panel. Ding, you consume stones X100, dirt X100, and successfully built a water pool. Ding, you consume mountain spring stone X50, stone block X40, soil X40, and successfully build a mountain spring eye. Ding, you have consumed charcoal X30, alloy X40, ceramic filter X1, and successfully built a purifier. Construction sounds continued to be heard in the shelter. 5 minutes later, a small water pool with a diameter of 3 meters appeared in the room. Suyu reblocked a room to place it. When the spring is placed in the pool, something magical happened. When the mountain spring enters the pool, countless bubbles are produced from its surface, and then trickling spring water flows out slowly, and quickly spreads to the entire pool. Suyu put the purifier aside and walked out of the room. After finishing all this, sit down cross-legged. A bottle of golden reagent appeared in his hand. Intermediate evolution potion. After drinking, it can improve the player's physical fitness. There is a certain chance of awakening ability. At the same stage, only 1 bottle can be drunk. This is the 2nd time he has taken this medicine. At the same stage, only the 1st bottle of medicine will be effective after drinking. But this is an intermediate potion. It is effective after drinking Suyu. Without much thought, he unscrewed the bottle cap and drank it directly. Ding, you get 2000 deduction points. Ding, your cultivation has successfully reached the late stage of the 2nd order. Boom, after drinking, countless spiritual powers poured into Suyu's body. His cultivation broke through instantly. The bones crackled, and the strength became more refined. Okay, sure enough, I didn't wake up. Hope failed. Suyu is not discouraged. Instead, the system panel was opened. Use the deduction points you just obtained to upgrade your abilities. Ding, you have consumed 1000 deduction points and successfully upgraded Bian to level 2. Ding, you have consumed 700 deduction points and successfully upgraded the Yi Jinjing to level 3. Ding, you spent 300 deduction points and successfully upgraded the Phoenix Immortal Fire Art to the 2nd level. After a series of system prompts, huge changes took place around Suyu, various lights appear and disappear, and the surrounding space faintly trembles. After the knowledge flooded into his mind, Suyu closed his eyes tightly, feeling this miraculous change. Gradually, he gained a deeper understanding, and many cultivation problems were easily solved. Time flies. Early morning. As the sun rises slowly, the last trace of darkness is driven away. A world announcement appeared in front of everyone. The first night is over. Congratulations to the player, Suyu, for successfully reaching the top with his outstanding performance. The specific rewards are as follows. Intermediate Resource Gift Pack X3, Intermediate Material Supply Pack X3, Shelter Upgrade Card, Camp Capsule. I hope other contestants will work harder. There will be more dangers in the second night. After 3 consecutive beeps, each player has a leaderboard above his head. First night kill ranking. First place. Longguo player, Suyu, points, 5,100 points. Second place. American player, John, points, 2,100 points. Third place. Shangguo player, Sailfin, points, 1,700 points. Fourth place. Dragon Country player, Yiqing, points, 750 points. Fifth place. Contestant from Yingjiang Country, Tuosuo, points, 490 points. Sixth place. Langguo player, Maiquan Niku, points, 380 points. Everyone is not calm. They cannot believe what they see. This is several times the difference in points. This bright red integral number. It's completely crushing. The 5,000 points rolled over their bodies like a wheel, completely shattering their strong self-confidence. From this moment, the contestants knew that Suyu was really the lucky guy of Longguo. WFT. 5,100 points. Is this achievable by humans? Could there be a system error? How could such a high score be possible? Is he a monster? Could it be that Suyu is a strong man? Impossible. I have read Suyu's file, but he has not awakened. Fake. We were deceived by Dragon Kingdom. Suyu's file is fake. He hides his strength. There are also many players who do not accept this result and refute it one after another. Not necessarily. It is possible that he has some kind of weapon, a weapon of mass destruction. It's possible. I don't believe that you can kill more than 500 zombies with your body. In the Night White Squad camp, when the Yebai team members saw the leaderboard, they collectively lost their voices. They also understood that Suyu was really Suyu from Dragon Kingdom, not the same name. How did Suyu do it? After regaining consciousness, Wang Peng spoke first. His eyes were full of disbelief. He couldn't understand how that seemingly harmless boy killed so many zombies. After the announcement of the list, news reports, major websites and platforms spread the news all over the world at the same time. Attracted the attention of all mankind. The first thing many people do when they wake up is to pick up the mobile phone next to the bed and check the ranking of the first night. They know exactly what that means. When you see the name of your country's players appearing in the leaderboard. They were boiling. Cheers echoed throughout the room. When I saw the name of the player from my country and failed the ranking. These people lose their mood instantly, as if they have lost their souls, and the good mood of the day is gone. Just when the top 10 players are announced, all eyes are on number 1 on the leaderboard. Dragon Kingdom, Suyu, 5,000 points. Oh my god, this is not true. People can't understand how this terrible figure is done. He is an awakener, or Superman. At the same time, various news about Suyu was also leaked by netizens. The silver treasure chest burst out at the beginning. Kill the E-class beast with 1 sword. Dig out the golden treasure chest in the middle of the night. These pieces of news bombarded everyone's minds like missiles. This day, the top searches on all sites contain a person's name, Suyu. Who is Suyu? Shock. Suyu turned out to be him. Suyu, a legendary man. The perfect choice in the eyes of a goddess. The story that Su Yu and I have to tell. People want to know more about Su Yu. At the same time, each country has also established a new department. Recording 24 hours in the Su Yu live room, trying to find out what went wrong. The world pattern has also changed because of this ranking. The resistance that Dragon Kingdom encountered disappeared inexplicably. Dragon Country. In a detached villa in Yanjing. The old man looked at the information in his hand with a smile, and muttered to himself. Good boy, really give our Dragon Kingdom a face. A program called Su Yu's Life was also quietly recorded under the leadership's nod. Su Yu didn't know these things. He didn't even know that the ranking list had been refreshed. Now Su Yu has entered into a kind of mysterious and selfless cultivation state. In this state, his cultivation speed increased geometrically. Time passed slowly like this. Gradually, Su Yu's chest began to move regularly, shrinking, expanding. The medicine remaining in the body is absorbed, refined and transformed into his own spiritual power under the operation of Yi Jin Jing. His cultivation is also constantly soaring. An instant breakthrough in the late stage of the second order. An instant breakthrough in the early stage of the third order. It didn't gradually slow down until it reached the late stage of the third order. Ding! Congratulations to the host, your cultivation has successfully reached the late stage of the third order. Sure enough, it is right to choose Yi Jin Jing. With the help of evolution medicine and Yi Jin Jing, it can be improved so much. After expressing emotion, Su Yu adapted to the physical changes. The most obvious is that the physical strength has improved a lot. Now he is confident, fighting against C-rank beasts with physical strength alone. If you add various abilities, Su Yu is confident to challenge the B-level beast. You must know that on the first floor of the Wasteland world, the ceiling of the beast is only B-level strength. That means, as long as Su Yu doesn't die, he can walk sideways on this floor. Stretching, Su Yu walked out of the hut. Only then did I realize that the outside world was already bright. Before I knew it, I practiced for 8 hours. While muttering to himself, Su Yu checked the leaderboard. Really, I am the first. That's when I started preparing breakfast. With Su Yu's outcrop, the bullet screen in the live broadcast room was scrolling crazily. At this time, the number of people in Su Yu's live broadcast room has reached 4 billion. These sand sculpture netizens have been guarding Su Yu's live broadcast room since 8 o'clock in the morning. I have been waiting until now to see the real master. My brother, you are finally up. I have been waiting for 3 hours. This is Su Yu, who is number 1 on the kill list. Are you still riding a horse and sleeping late? The one upstairs is him, the legendary man. Come here just for the name, and come to see the real face of Su Yu. Hey, husband is so handsome, I like it very much. Handsome, why do I think he's not as handsome as the reader? Quote. After a simple breakfast, Su Yu opened his backpack to check the system rewards from last night. You have successfully opened the Intermediate Resource Gift Pack X3. Obtain wood blocks, stone blocks, soil, fine sand, ceramics, X3000. You have successfully opened the Intermediate Material Supply Package X3. Obtain bread, fresh water X500. In an instant, Su Yu's backpack was filled with various resources and supplies. It seems that the warehouse is going to be upgraded. Thinking of this, Su Yu continued to check the rewards. Camp capsule. The player's camp can be stored in the capsule and transferred. This is not bad. Su Yu's face showed joy. This prop was an unexpected surprise. With it, the camp is a mobile castle, which can be transferred anytime and anywhere. He had long been smoky about the surrounding environment, and was about to move the camp, and now this prop was exactly what he wanted. Chapter 21. Refuge Upgrade Card, Silver Level. After using it, the level of the refuge can be directly upgraded to the silver level. Use. The card in Su Yu's hand was crushed and turned into a golden light, quickly enveloping the shelter. After golden light, the shelter has undergone a sea change. The original small bungalow has been transformed into a luxurious courtyard. Refuge, silver level. Level 2. With good defense, it can block the attacks of ordinary monsters. Wonderful. I didn't expect that one day I would be able to experience the life of a landlord. Su Yu looked at the mansion in front of him and said with emotion in his heart. In a forest in the south of the wasteland world, a muscular man was fighting a black bear. The brawny man shouted loudly, exerted force with both hands, and directly smashed the black bear in front of him into the pit. The strong man didn't give the black bear a chance to react. Immediately, he stepped forward, grabbed the black bear's head with one hand, and twisted it off. Beast blood spilled all over the place. E-class fierce beast, but that's all. The strong man admired the results in his hands, and spoke confidently. His name was John, and he had served as the captain of the Delta Mercenary Squad. Good at boxing melee attacks. Beyond that, John has a secret that even those closest to him don't know. He is an awakened one. A year ago, when he was on a mission, he snatched a bottle of evolution potion from a wealthy businessman. After taking it, John's arms mutated, possess unrivaled strength. With daily hard training, his strength has now reached D+ level. With full strength, it can fight against sea-level beasts. In order to hide the identity of the awakened one, John kept hiding his strength during the kill last night. Even so, he has the confidence to get the first place. As a result, Su Yu cut off his beard. He became the second child. Su Yu. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. The head of the black bear in John's hand exploded on the spot like a watermelon under his anger. Did you have received a private chat message? At this moment, he received a system prompt. John immediately opens the message to check it out. Mei Chuan Niku. Boss John. The contestants from Languo and Kimchi country are ready and waiting for your words. John, have you found Su Yu's location? Mei Chuan Niku. I have received the tracking order, and I can confirm his approximate location. Seeing the little brother working so hard, John nodded in satisfaction, and replied, you did a good job. After tonight, let's act. Hi. After closing the chat, Yumagawa Neko showed a cold smile. With a short body, she looks quite obscene. Su Yu, prepare for the trial. In his world, the people of Longguo are the lowest race. Now Su Yu is number 1. Naturally, Meikuan Niku couldn't accept it. He also didn't believe that it was Su Yu's own strength. Putting it all together, Su Yu has acquired some kind of war weapon. Using war weapons, killed so many zombies. Just this morning, he told Big John what he thought. It just so happened that John also had the idea of teaching Su Yu a lesson. The two hit it off. With the help of John's fame, Meikuan Niku quickly united Languo and Kimchi country players. Prepare to besiege Su Yu and take his treasure for himself. As for the whole live broadcast, he doesn't care. At most, it caused some fishing boats to fluctuate. What is the fishing reel for? It's just a war of words. In the face of absolute strength, it's a fart. What's more, this is a wasteland world. There are no real-world constraints here. When a player enters this world, it means that you have signed a life and death contract. You can kill other players and grab resources. You will also be killed by other players. This is the default rule of each country. No one can stop it. In this day and age, winning means everything. After obtaining the consent of the big brother, Meikuan Niku passed the news to the younger brothers, asking them to prepare and set off at any time. The wasteland world is vast, and generally speaking, players are hard to find. But you can pass special treasures. For example, missing persons. This is an artifact for killing and looting in the wasteland world. After use, you can quickly track the approximate position of the player. Meikuan Niku has already received one through its huge network. Just waiting for tomorrow's plan to be implemented. He had already imagined Su Yu begging for mercy on his knees after being caught by him. It's really exciting. Ha ha ha. The obscene laughter echoed throughout the fishing village. On the other side, Su Yu has put the refuge into the capsule and is walking towards the distance. The second night in the wasteland world is the night of killing. This time the invading monsters are no longer zombies, but herds. A herd of mutated ferocious beasts of the same type attacked each player's camp. The number and quality of beasts that players have to face are different. Players who are lucky may encounter a herd of ordinary mutant beasts. This is easy to deal with. As long as you are not stupid, you can survive. Players who are unlucky will encounter a herd of high-level ferocious beasts. Hiding in the shelter, you can't survive. At this time, Su Yu was already in a frenzy, and he only had deduction points in his eyes. In order to kill more points, Su Yu put the camp into his backpack and was ready to go fishing. Fishing can also be called hunting. Raid of the herd in the second night has a feature. Whenever a player changes camp, the herd can be refreshed. Strictly speaking, as long as you can bear it, you can refresh the herd infinitely. Brush until 6 o'clock. Many people know this feature, but no one has ever tried. Tonight, Su Yu wants to try it. Not for anything else, just for that cute point of deduction. It's still early. Su Yu decided to wander around and see if he could find some treasure chests. His current spiritual power has reached 1500 points. Simply turn on the wide-eyed perspective mode, and the absorbed spiritual power can completely offset the consumed ones. Su Yu kept his eyes open all the way, watching from side to side, trying to find the treasure chest. All these behaviors seemed very strange to everyone in the live broadcast room. They couldn't figure out what Su Yu was doing. Other players either hunt and prepare food, or build houses. Why is Su Yu so special, like a street sneaker? The 4 experts in the studio also didn't know Su Yu's purpose, but they dare not speak casually. The previous painful lessons taught them a truth. Su Yu's idea is so unique, you can never guess what he wants to do next. At this time, it is better to talk less to avoid being slapped in the face. I'll do it. The studio is so quiet today, why is there no one to bring the rhythm? Indeed, it's too quiet, I'm not used to it. Su Yu is also very normal today, he didn't do anything, it's not, Su Yu. Hey, look, there's a lizard in the desert. Ah, okay. Boss Su was beheaded with 1 sword strike. My husband's sword swing is so handsome, I'm ready. Quote. Along the way, Su Yu was not idle. He hung the prepared fresh water on the trading house for sale, and added transaction restrictions. The country of Lang, the country of America, the country of Eagle Sauce. These countries have all been banned from trading by him. Only sell fresh water to those friendly countries, such as Pakistan, Khmer, and Persia. Anyway, in this game, there are many players, so don't worry about not being able to sell. Suddenly, Su Yu sensed a hint of danger. Eyes wide open, looking in the direction of breath, he saw a poisonous snake hiding in the fine sand in the desert ahead. Golden skin is like a protective color in this desert. If it weren't for the white eyes, it would be difficult for Su Yu to spot each other. And the other party is in his only way. It must have been hidden there first, waiting for the courier to be delivered by myself. It doesn't matter who is the food. While talking to himself, Su Yu had already walked close to the poisonous snake. Shish, the poisonous snake spat out a scarlet letter, and seeing Su Yu approaching, couldn't bear it any longer. With a flick of its back, it opened its sharp fangs and burst out from the fine sand. Bang! In the state of white eyes, no matter how swift the poisonous snake's movements are, it will be caught. After the ancient sword blocked, he turned his left wrist, make it into the shape of a hand knife, and slashed towards the poisonous snake Kikyun. As the old saying goes, hit a snake and hit 7 inches. These 7 inches are where the heart of the snake is. Under Su Yu's knife attack, the viper's heart was shattered and he died on the spot. Ding, you successfully killed the lost snake. Classy, deduction point plus 400. Now Su Yu has completely understood Dugu 9 swords. It has really achieved, no sword in hand is better than sword in hand. In Su Yu's eyes, all vegetation and flying flowers can be swords. His swordsmanship state of mind has reached the peak. Certainly, this simple blow is just the most common hand knife in the eyes of outsiders. Diddy, you have received a private message. When Su Yu was about to continue on his way, he received a game prompt. Who can find me? Thinking this way, Su Yu opened the chat channel. Wang Peng, are you really that Su Yu? Su Yu was confused by his question. I'm not Su Yu. Are you? Seeing Su Yu did not reply, Wang Peng continued to send messages. Boss Su, I have received an important piece of information about you. Just now, Mei Chuan Niku of Languo has teamed up with Wilhelm of America to attack you. I'm not sure about the specific time yet, but I will notify you as soon as I receive it. Just before, Yebai team finally accepted the fact. He even vaguely guessed that Su Yu was an anonymous person. This time, many members of the team were completely convinced. They also understood a truth: the card of Long Guo is not them, but Su Yu. As long as Su Yu can successfully get out, Dragon Kingdom will take off. Therefore, they have been paying attention to Su Yu's information. Just 3 minutes ago, the intelligence personnel they placed in Langguo sent important information. Langguo and Kimchi Kingdom are going to join forces to attack Su Yu's camp. When receiving the news, Wang Peng did not hesitate to tell Su Yu the news directly. That's how this scene came about. I haven't replied yet when I saw Su Yu. Wang Peng was completely anxious, and a series of information bombarded him. Are you there? Why don't you reply? Are you taking a shower? Boss, reply as soon as you see it. Su Yu looked at the 99+ messages with black lines on his head. Taking a deep breath, he replied. Oh, the damage to Wang Peng was great. This word, oh, let Wang Peng recall the past. Reminds him of the days when he was a licking dog in college. He clearly remembered that when he was in college, when he sent a lot of messages to the goddess, the other party replied in the same way. I am Nima. After I entered the society, I became a licking dog again. Isn't this a mind-boggling thing? Take several deep breaths in a row to stabilize your emotions. Wang Peng thought of a possibility. Maybe the bosses are all cold. Su Yu is like this, and so is Yi Qing. He knew Yi Qing's strength. A leading figure among young people in the Dragon Kingdom. The strength has reached D+, and the ice element has been awakened. If it wasn't for their few oil bottles this time, Yi Qing's ranking will definitely be higher. Did Su Yu reply? Yi Qing, who was dressed in black leather, came over and asked. He said he got it, and he also said thank you. Wang Peng stammered back. After seeing the captain leave, he was relieved. In the desert, after Su Yu received the message, he didn't care. In his eyes, those contestants were nothing more than rotten fish and rotten shrimp. Not enough to kill him. If the other party dares to come over, Su Yu will use the ancient sword in his hand to tell them why the flowers are so red. After collecting the poisonous snake materials, humming a ditty and continuing the treasure hunt. Next, Su Yu encountered many fierce beasts. Common grade, F grade, E grade, and even D grade have encountered one. It was a male lion more than 3 meters tall, with golden curly hair, which looked particularly dazzling in the sunlight. A long roar echoed from all directions. He took a step forward, majestic and majestic. Then, beheaded to death by Su Yu with 2 swords. Everyone in the live broadcast room is used to this kind of operation, and they have long been familiar with it. Look, this lion is so strong. Mr. Su actually handed out 2 swords. Yeah, it looks like an E-rank beast, right? E-class. Who do you look down on? Just because it can catch the 2 swords of Boss Su, it is AD rank. Expert Wang finally got the chance to show up. He smiled and explained to the audience. Everyone, please look at the head of this lion. Does it have silver lines? Look at his limbs. And its size. This should be an adult fur-eating lion with a strength of D level. 666. Expert Wang is right this time. I still remember the matter of the land rhinoceros. Bold. How dare you question the authority of experts? I believe you. Old Wang, Su Yu searched all the way down. Except for killing the beast, he didn't encounter a treasure chest. I didn't even see the bronze treasure chest. Looks like I'm having bad luck today. Came to a small lake. Su Yu squatted by the lake, after a brief and clear look. Decided to set up camp here first and wait for the night to come. The time has come to 5 o'clock in the evening. The sky in the distance was red as if on fire, dyeing the white clouds wandering in the blue sky red. Su Yu took out the shelter capsule from his backpack. Fall towards the ground. Hulala. A dazzling golden light exploded around. Then the courtyard house appeared beside the lake. Owner. The machine gun robot and the sundry robot ran out of the courtyard and walked in front of Su Yu. The red lights in his eyes were flickering, as if he was waiting for his master's order. Machine gun robot, you are in charge of guarding the camp tonight. Machine gun robot, gold level. 2 Gatlings in the hand can cause intensive attacks on the enemy. After watching the machine gun robot panel, Su Yu gave him a task for tonight. Yes, master. The machine gun robot is different from the debris robot. he already has enough intelligence. After receiving Su Yu's order, he consciously carried it out. I saw the machine gun robot walking to the gate of the courtyard, changing hands rapidly. A few seconds later, the two metal arms directly turned into two huge Gatlings. Su Yu was also taken aback by this sci-fi scene. Since he summoned the other party, it was the first time he saw the other party transform. It's like Transformers. Is it so sci-fi? It's kind of like Transformers, I love it. Mom, I want a robot like this too. Upstairs, call Dad. If you call, I will buy it for you. Dad, Dad +1, Dad plus 10,086. At this time, Su Yu had already lit the bonfire. Walking to the lake, fat carp are swimming happily in the clear water. Brush, brush, there were 2 splashes of water on the surface of the lake. In Su Yu's hand, there are already 2 fat carp. I will eat you tonight. Hand the carp to the clutterbot and let it handle it. I sat quietly on the stone, watching the sunset, and waiting for the food. In 10 minutes, 2 grilled carp were brought over by the sundry robot. Su Yu took the golden grilled fish and inspected it carefully. No issues with the exterior, no burnt. This is the first time he has ordered a robot to make food. He didn't know how it tasted either. Su Yu took a light bite and put the fish into his mouth. Click. Behind the crispy skin is the fresh and tender fish. Authentic. Not bad. Su Yu nodded in satisfaction before eating. The sky gradually darkened. Players from all over the world are actively preparing. Install ammunition, craft traps, repair defenses. Get ready for the night's battle. They knew very well that the difficulty tonight was far more difficult than last night. If you are unlucky, it may be difficult to survive. Under the stimulation of Su Yu, those players who were planning to hide their strengths are all gearing up and preparing to explode tonight. When the time came to 5.40, countless streams of people flooded into the live broadcast room of each player. Many spectators have set their alarm clocks, waiting for the arrival of 6 o'clock. I silently pray in my heart that the players from my own country can achieve a good result. Therefore, although there are a lot of people in the live broadcast room of each player, there are very few bullet screens. A depressive atmosphere began to spread in each live broadcast room. Of course, this does not include Su Yu's live broadcast room. At this time, Su Yu's studio was extremely lively. Numerous barrages were issued from various sand sculpture netizens. All kinds of emoticons and swear words fly around. It's 5.50, there are still 10 minutes, and the second night is about to begin. All do it. It's finally time to start. The small bench, beer, and melon seeds are all ready, and I'm just waiting for Mr. Su to show off his talents. I don't know why, but now I am very calm, not as nervous as I used to be. Similarly, I also feel very relaxed. I don't worry that Mr. Su will be in danger at all, and even I feel a little sorry for those beasts. This is the charm of Mr. Su. I don't watch Su Yu's live broadcast now, and I feel uncomfortable. Su Yuyds. Give me a rush. At the same time, research teams formed by countries around the world are already in place. Most of the team's eyes are on Su Yu's live broadcast room. They hoped to take advantage of the second night. Su Yu's secret can be unearthed. Find out his true strength. When the time came to 6 o'clock, it was completely dark. The world announcement is presented in front of all players. The night is coming, and the monster invasion is coming in the second night. The degree of suffering this time will exceed that of last night. If you don't have enough strength, please stay in the shelter as much as possible and don't go out. Wish you guys good luck. It's finally here. After hearing the game prompt, every player's heart tightened. I prayed silently in my heart, facing a weak mutant beast. Their eyes scanned the dark surroundings nervously, and any disturbance made them terrified. In Su Yu's camp, the lit bonfire dispelled the surrounding darkness. Let people see Su Yu clearly. At this time, Su Yu was quietly standing in the grass, waiting for the attack of the mutated beast. Swipe swipe. The small sound of grass passing by was particularly harsh in the quiet environment. The white eyes opened instantly. He saw, 600 meters away, a group of giant rats were attacking him. It was a mouse about 1 meter in size with black and red hair all over its body. The hair all over his body stood up like a sharp sword. The scarlet eyes looked particularly terrifying in the dark. Bloodthirsty mouse. Level: Grade E. Description: mutated due to eating the flesh of mutated creatures. Extremely fast, extremely sharp teeth. There are 7 bloodthirsty mice in total, and they are extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he came to Su Yu. Squeak. After a sharp growl, the leading mouse took the lead in attacking. He opened his huge mouth, revealing his sharp teeth, about to bite off Su Yu's left leg. Bang bang. Su Yu shot first. With a sudden force on his left leg, he kicked the mouse away. Ding. You successfully killed the bloodthirsty mouse, the E-level beast, and the deduction point is plus 300. What? Why did you give 300 deduction points? Su Yu remembered that killing an E-rank beast would give 400 deduction points. Why is there less this time? Thinking this way in my heart, the movements in my hands are not slow. Saw 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 saw. After 6 piercing sounds, the remaining bloodthirsty mice in the field all died. Ding. You successfully killed the bloodthirsty mouse, the E-level beast, and the deduction point is plus 300. Ding. You successfully killed the bloodthirsty mouse, the E-level beast, and the deduction point is plus 300. System prompts kept ringing in Su Yu's mind. In just 1 minute, 2,100 deduction points were recorded. This feeling is so cool. Su Yu secretly smiled inwardly. This way of scoring points is much faster than during the day. If you want to deduce something during the day, you can only find the beast by yourself. It is bitter and tiring, and the harvest is also small. Still, good evening. Deduce the point and deliver it to your door, just receive it. After this time, Su Yu became more sure. He must implement the plan today. A large number of deduction points are waving towards him. Who cannot be moved? He can imagine that after tonight, the deduction points obtained will be far more than last night. In the studio, the 4 experts looked at each other. Cough cough. With a light cough, Expert Wang spoke first. I believe everyone has noticed that besides the 4 of us, there is one more old man today. I believe many people know his identity. That's right, he is the famous waste soil expert in our country, Guo Qingfeng. As soon as the camera turned, a kind old man appeared on the screen. I saw him smiling and greeting the camera. Hi everyone, I'm Guo Qingfeng. It's a great honor to explain the next game to you. There is a reason why Guo Qingfeng came to explain. After several live broadcast explanations, Longguo executives discovered many problems. They found that the presence of the studio was too low. In other words, in the studio, the level of several experts is not enough. It was completely a mascot in the live broadcast room, and it didn't play any role. For example, experts are unable to give a reasonable explanation for every action Su Yu makes, and they will only be shocked along with the audience. Secondly, the professional level is not enough, they can even identify the level of the beast. Isn't this throwing Longguo's face? After deliberation, the high-level officials decided to send Guo Qingfeng, the great god. Let him and several experts explain the next game together. Guo Qingfeng. He once served as the director of the Wasteland Research Institute, known as the first person in the world of waste soil research in China. Naturally, he has a deep understanding of the wasteland world. The senior management believed that with the help of Guo Qingfeng, a great god, and the assistance of several experts, it was enough to face all problems. Regarding the high-level arrangement, the 4 experts naturally applauded. After several explanations, they have already discovered their shortcomings. Especially Su Yu's side, continuous overturning. With the end of the introduction, Su Yu has already killed several bloodthirsty mice in the field. Guo Qingfeng had already guessed this result, and said with confidence. Su Yu is really strong, and he took out these bloodthirsty mice in less than a minute. You must know that it is a D-rank mutant monster, Su Yu can solve it so quickly. Mainly in 2 points. First, Su Yu's own strength is very strong. As for his specific level, due to confidentiality reasons, I can't tell everyone. In fact, in the past few days, Longguo has done research. Su Yu's strength has been roughly guessed. Should be between D+ grade and C grade. This strength is enough to squeeze into the top 10 positions of the young and strong in the Dragon Kingdom. However, due to confidentiality policy, Su Yu's grade cannot be revealed. Ignoring the audience's barrage, Guo Qingfeng continued to analyze. In addition to Su Yu's strength, there is another important factor. He has a rich reserve of beasts. I don't know if you have noticed a phenomenon. Su Yu can end every fight quickly. The reason is that he knows the weakness of the beast, and every attack can precisely land on the weakness of the beast. In this way, the battle can be ended quickly and accurately. For example, for the bloodthirsty rats this time, Su Yu shot at the abdomen of the rats. That is exactly their weak point. That's why Su Yu is strong. I'm sure, Su Yu is definitely a genius. If Su Yu were here, I'm afraid he would die laughing. This old man is really good at making up his mind. He even attributed his ability to roll his eyes to his reserves. After Guo Qingfeng's analysis, everyone suddenly realized. I see. Barrages of praise were sent out one after another. Cowhide. Dean Guo's analysis is too good. Dean Guo deserves to be the #1 person in the Dragon Kingdom. What he said is indeed very reasonable. For a layman to watch the excitement, for an expert to see the doorway, after Dean Guo's analysis, I finally understand the reason for Su Yu's strength. I didn't expect Su Yu to be a top student in addition to his strength. My husband has too many advantages. He studies well, he is strong, he is also handsome. The praise made several experts envious. No audience has ever praised them like this. Meanwhile, Su Yu had already disposed of the bloodthirsty rat's corpse. Just about to change places and reset. Thinking like this, put the refuge into the capsule, and escaped into the darkness. After seeing all this, everyone was stunned. They asked Dean Guo why Su Yu acted like this. In fact, Guo Qingfeng was also confused. He also couldn't understand Su Yu's purpose. Having survived the second night of the attack safely, it is good to just rest in the shelter honestly. Why put the shelter away again? What is he doing? I can't figure it out. Not good. Su Yu is going to have an accident. Guo Qingfeng yelled subconsciously. Just now, he thought of a possibility. Su Yu wants to move the shelter. If so, something will happen. If you do that, the monster invasion will be refreshed. Doesn't Su Yu know? How should this be done? At the same time, when Guo Qingfeng yelled, everyone in front of the screen was already aroused by him. Waiting for the dean to continue the analysis. As a result, they waited and waited, but they did not wait for him to speak again. At this time, Dean Guo seemed to be bewitched. Frowning tightly, he muttered something to himself. What happened? Dean Guo, why didn't you speak? Is this bewitched? Don't make people hungry. At this time, Guo Qingfeng was frowning and thinking. The more you think about it, the more possible it is. After pondering for a moment, he slowly opened his mouth and said. You may not know the characteristics of the second night in the wasteland world. Changing the location of the shelter means refreshing. Before he finished speaking, everyone has discovered the problem. In the picture, Su Yu has taken the shelter out of the capsule after changing places. Half a minute later, in the darkness in the distance, there was the roar of a wild beast. Then I saw a vigorous silver figure walking out of the forest. This is a silver wolf with a full length of 5 meters. It is covered with long silver fur. Its sharp claws are firmly grasping the ground, and it is full of explosive power. Puff! Silver Wolf raised his head, his moist nose spewed out white air, and his amber-colored eyes stared at Su Yu coldly. Moon Shadow Silver Wolf. Level: Grade C. Description: a mutated silver wolf whose body has evolved. Wolf claws are very sharp and extremely fast. It turned out to be a C-rank beast. I don't know how much deduction points it is worth. After Su Yu saw the level of the silver wolf, not only was he not afraid, but he was eager to try it. Those D-level and E-level beasts have long been meaningless. Only such a high-level ferocious beast can arouse his desire to fight. Brush. Silver Wolf took the lead, but his body had disappeared in place. In the next second, Su Yu appeared close to him. Stab it. The silver giant claw collided with Su Yu's ancient sword. The ground under Su Yu's feet couldn't bear it anymore and cracked open. In the live broadcast room. Guo Qingfeng has already mentioned the characteristics of the second night. With the appearance of the silver wolf, Guo Qingfeng's eyes widened, and his expression was a little uncertain. After carefully checking the whole picture of the silver wolf, he stammered. This This is the C-rank beast Moon Shadow Silver Wolf. Suyu may be in danger. Hearing Guo Qingfeng's words, the live broadcast room was blown up. Sea level. How is it possible? Who would have thought that changing the location of the camp would refresh the attack of the herd? Sea level beast. Can Boss Su withstand it? I'm afraid it's very difficult. You didn't hear the director say that Suyu is in danger. Woo. Ha ha ha. God help me, Kimchi Country, I want to announce this news. I have been lurking for such a long time, and I finally dare to speak out. Suyu, die to me. Soon, the news that Suyu encountered a sea-level beast was spread. A large number of viewers flooded into Suyu's live broadcast room. They all looked at all this gloatingly. At the same time, Yanjing, the old man, is also watching. When he confirmed the rank of Silver Wolf, he sat on the seat weakly, and instantly aged 10 years. How could you make such a fatal mistake? You should have become a soaring dragon, you shouldn't be, the old man muttered to himself. He has been following Suyu ever since he emerged. From Suyu, he felt hope. The hope for the rise of the Dragon Kingdom. He has already planned a road for Suyu in his heart, and he can execute it as long as he returns safely. Never thought that such a thing would happen. The assistant behind the old man felt his heart tighten when he saw the old man's decadent appearance, and secretly dialed the phone in his hand. It was different from Long Guo's reaction. When other countries learned about this, they cheered and cheered. They all had champagne ready and waited for Suyu to die under the Silver Wolf. At this time, Suyu had already fought Silver Wolf once. He could feel the strength of this Silver Wolf. Terrible power, amazing speed. The most surprising thing is that the Silver Wolf's intelligence has been activated. The flaws that were deliberately exposed several times did not lure it. It's like fighting humans. Hush, Silver Wolf didn't give Suyu time to catch his breath. With a kick on his hind legs, he struck again. Bang bang bang. Bang bang bang. The people in front of the screen couldn't see the battle between the two at all. The speed is too fast. Only two figures could be seen in the darkness. They are colliding rapidly, bombarding. The current situation, although it seems to be evenly matched, but the balance of victory has begun to tilt towards Silver Wolf. Guo Qingfeng took a deep breath and continued to explain. Everyone knows that the physical strength of ferocious beasts far exceeds that of humans, and this is an insurmountable gap. With the passage of time, Suyu's physical strength will decline rapidly, but Yinlang's physical strength will not. Quote, under the balance of one and the other, Suyu will be consumed to death by this Silver Wolf. What Guo Qingfeng said directly shattered the fluke thoughts in the hearts of the people of Longguo in the live broadcast room on the spot. Could it be that Suyu is about to perish here? After Suyu's death, is there any hope for the Dragon Kingdom? Everyone couldn't figure it out, so they could only pray silently in their hearts. Suyu can defeat that terrifying Silver Wolf. Roar. After the deafening roar, Suyu blocked the Silver Wolf's blow again. At this moment, a sudden change occurred. I saw a white laser spit out from the mouth of the Silver Wolf. The terrifying white light shot towards Suyu with endless coercion. Boom! Only a loud thunderous noise was heard, and the ground around Suyu sank instantly, and dust flew around, covering everything around him. Afterwards, the dust flying all over the sky completely blocked the view of the live broadcast room. Suyu, let's see how you block this time. Who would have thought that Silver Wolf could attack elements? Suyu is doomed. Brothers, don't look, Suyu is dead. What I said, even Jesus can't stop it. Ha ha ha, my champagne has been opened. I have to celebrate it. Seeing this scene, those netizens who were expecting Suyu's death were completely excited. Before the live broadcast room was covered, they clearly saw that the light beam hit Suyu. The result is self-evident, Suyu is dead. Those dogs cheered and cheered, more excited than their country's players winning. Hey, I didn't expect it to fail in this way. Seeing this scene, Guo Qingfeng choked up. He didn't expect that the most promising player would end in this way. All this could have been prevented. In the live broadcast room, except for those gloating bullet screens, the audience of Dragon Kingdom fell silent. It's all over. Rolling in the dust, Suyu looked indifferent. His whole body was being wrapped by a red barrier. It is the skill carried by the leggings shield of red flame. As early as when Silver Wolf launched an attribute attack, He had already noticed it through his white eyes. But there was no time to escape. Only then did the skills carried by the Qian Dragonscale leggings be activated, blocking the Silver Wolf's sure winning blow. The strength of the sea-level beast is indeed very strong, but everything should be over. With a soft murmur, a soaring flame suddenly exploded behind Su Yu. With a big wave of his hand, one by one fireballs full of violent power appeared in front of Su Yu, and then the fireballs smashed towards the Silver Wolf. Boom boom boom. The Silver Wolf reacted very quickly, and the moment the fireball was sent out, it felt a hint of danger. The silver hair stood up instantly, and a trace of doubt flashed in Amber's eyes. Silver Wolf couldn't figure out how Su Yu resisted his own attack. And this violent elemental power, what's going on? As a spiritually mutated ferocious beast, the Silver Wolf can feel the coercion brought by those fireballs. The Silver Wolf reacted very quickly, and in the next second, he jumped high, avoiding a series of fireball attacks. Just when it was complacent, suddenly, a red figure appeared above it. This scene made Silver Wolf's complacent expression stiffen instantly, and Amber's pupils shrank instantly. Silver Wolf couldn't figure out why Su Yu appeared behind him. How did he get here? All this is in Su Yu's calculation. Su Yu knew very well that the Silver Wolf's speed was very fast, and the attack of his own fireball would definitely be avoided by the opponent. Su Yu didn't care about this. The fireball is just a cover-up, the real ultimate move is yet to come. At the same time as the fireball was sent out, the boots under his feet suddenly lit up, and the teleportation skill was activated instantly. Next second, Su Yu, wrapped in flames, appeared behind Silver Wolf like a Vulcan descending into the world. Die! After a loud shout, the ancient sword wrapped in flames instantly chopped down. Boom! Under the blessing of the fire element, the ancient sword has absolute destructive power. After the red light, a huge wolf head flew out. Ding! You successfully killed a sea-level beast, deduction point plus 3000. Who? Only after hearing the system prompt, Su Yu dared to relax. Before the bean-sized beads of sweat hit the ground, they were evaporated by the scorching heat on his body. After this battle, he realized how naive his previous thoughts were. Only after fighting in person can one experience the terrifying strength of a C-rank beast. This time, Su Yu almost showed all his cards before killing the Silver Wolf. I don't know how strong the B-level beast can be. Thinking of this, Su Yu sat cross-legged on the ground, recovering his spiritual power. Tonight's battle has just begun. Yes, after this one stop, Su Yu became more and more thirsty for strength. He wanted to gain deduction points by killing ferocious beasts. Now that the ability of the fire element has been exposed, Su Yu decided not to hide it anymore. Let the audience feel his true power. The situation on the field changed too quickly. Everyone in the live broadcast room has been crushed by this sudden change. Everyone was just brewing up their sad emotions, but you told me that Su Yu is not dead. Also in such a handsome way. I am Nima. Are you bullying honest people? This is Meow. Su Yu is still alive. He also killed the C-rank Silver Wolf. The script dare not write like this. This reversal, I can't handle it. Boss Su is still alive. My foot. I'm tearing up. Can you show me this? Really, I admit that I cried just now, but now I want Su Yu to cry more. If it's not confirmed that this is a live broadcast, I doubt it's a script. Isn't this Bebo X burning? Where are those barking wild dogs? Why don't you talk? Ha ha ha, Grandpa laughed so hard. Do you still have champagne? How about Grandpa treat you to drink? Dean Guo, don't be shocked, come out and explain. What are those flames on Su Yu's body? Isn't he a body awakener? Why does he still have the fire element? Quote. In the studio, including Guo Qingfeng, the 5 experts were as dumb as a stone statue. Obviously, they haven't reacted yet. Cough cough cough. My old man's heart can't take it anymore, the change of all this is so surprising. Su Yu, sure enough, he is a player who is good at creating miracles. Under the urging of the barrage, Guo Qingfeng finally came back to his senses, wiped off the saliva from the corner of his mouth, and continued to explain. From the beginning we went into a misunderstanding, we were deceived by Su Yu, he is not a pure body awakener. In addition, he also awakened the fire element. Su Yu is a rare secondary awakener. Look at the power of the fire element he used in this battle, which is the best evidence. As soon as this remark came out, the world shook. Su Yu turned out to be a rare secondary awakener. The internet is boiling. Everyone is discussing Su Yu's awakened ability. Is he really a dual attribute awakener? This is too ridiculous. You must know that the chance of the second awakener appearing is almost zero. First of all, the chance of awakening for the first time is very low, enough to spawn 99% of humans. It is more difficult for the second awakener to appear than the first awakening, and the rarity can be imagined. How many people are there in the world for the second awakening? Su Yu, he deserves it too. Could it be that Long Guo boasted about it? Based on Guo Qingfeng's words alone, netizens from all over the world are hard to believe. It is being discussed in various official website forums, hoping that those formal institutions can give a clear judgment. Su Yu, the second awakener. Since this news was sent out, it has swept all major forums. At the same time, the responses of the leaders of various countries are also mixed. Shocked, angry, and puzzled. They couldn't figure out how such a god-level change could happen in a good plot. And is it the second awakener? Eagle sauce in the conference room. A man in a suit angrily smashed the screen in front of him. Fake. This is not dead. How can he still be alive? In the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, a fat white man clenched his fists and watched this scene through gnashing of teeth. Su Yu turned out to be a second awakened person, and he must not be allowed to develop. Find a way to completely eliminate him. We must not let him grow. After getting angry, he took out the phone in his hand and made a call. Langguo Senate. Under the surprised gazes of several staff members, the leading man angrily pulled out the samurai sword in front of his waist and cut the huge screen in half. Bagaya Road, Su Yu. I won't give you a chance to grow up. Kimchi Country, Yanjing Private Villa. In the dark room, the old man was lying on the bed with his eyes wide open. He still regrets Su Yu's death. It's a pity, a pretty good kid. Just now, when Su Yu was hit by the silver wolf, the assistant invited him into the room to rest on the grounds of the old man's body, and prevented him from continuing to watch the live broadcast. Therefore, the old man didn't know that Su Yu had won, and was still grieving over Su Yu's fall. At this time, he didn't know that Su Yu had won. Outside the house, after the assistant received a phone call, he was completely stunned like a thunderbolt. After a long time, the assistant picked up the phone and called again. It seems to be confirming something. You mean Su Yu won? Still a second awakener. You didn't lie to me. In the room, after receiving the news from the assistant, the old man asked with some uncertainty. How did the death-defying situation turn into victory? What happened to the second awakening? After the assistant confirmed it many times, the old man finally believed in this fact. Excited. That is the second awakener, and they have never seen such a genius in Longguo. Really, I was not mistaken. Su Yu is definitely a rare talent. Notify those old guys, a meeting will be held immediately. After the excitement, the old man immediately issued an order. Leader, it's almost here, and disturbing their rest, isn't it good? The assistant spoke with some uncertainty. It's too late now, many leaders have already fallen asleep, is it really good to disturb others like this? Go and execute it. The old man's tone was full of certainty. He knew very well how much sensation Su Yu's identity as a second awakener would cause. Dragon Kingdom should take the lead to prevent all problems from happening. Ding, you spent 700 deduction points and successfully upgraded the Phoenix Immortal Fire technique to level 3. Su Yu was sitting cross-legged, feeling the experience brought by the upgrade. Gradually, dots of red light appeared in the air, gathering around Su Yu. I see. Su Yu has a deeper understanding of the fire element. It's time to continue scoring points. Thinking of this, he has put the shelter back into the capsule, and is going to refresh the herd in another place. 10 minutes later, Su Yu came to a forest. Recall the shelter. After seeing this scene, everyone understood. Shit, we were wrong again. It turned out that Su Yu knew the rules of the second night. His purpose is to refresh the beast tide. I completely knelt down to Boss Su. It turns out that he knows the rules. It was because I was thinking too much that made me worry so much. I knew it. You will never guess what Boss Su thinks. Su big brother just wants to earn more points, is there something wrong with that? Ha ha ha, I want to know the area of Guo Qingfeng's psychological shadow at this time. Didn't he say that Boss Su was wrong before? Bold, how dare you question Dean Guo? Actually, I don't blame Dean Guo, Su Yu's thoughts are indeed too difficult to guess. Watching the scrolling barrage and Su Yu's actions in front of the screen, Guo Qingfeng blushed. Embarrassed, I wanted to find a hole to drill down. Su Yu, as expected of you, with the re-establishment of the shelter. Su Yu has already seen the monster in the distance. It was an extremely disgusting humanoid creature. With a dog-like face and sharp claws, the mouth is full of sharp teeth, showing a ferocious face. His body was covered in plasma, and he looked extremely nauseated. Ghoul, level, grade E, description, evil species from the depths of the ground, evolved by devouring creatures. It turned out to be an evil species. It was also the first time for Su Yu to see this kind of creature. The ghouls in the pictures are far less shocking than the real ones. In the wasteland world, evil creatures are the most mysterious and terrifying existences of all species. At the same level, evil creatures are stronger than ordinary mutant creatures and beasts. There are also many evil creatures with unique abilities. Think like this. More than 10 ghouls have come to Su Yu. A soul-shattering roar came from his mouth. Let me see, what is so special about you? Thinking of this, Su Yu fully turned on the ability of Bian. He saw that inside these ghouls, a small cloud of black gas could be seen. This is something that other organisms do not have. What is that? Out of curiosity, the composition of the black gas. Su Yu stabbed the ancient sword straight out, piercing the ghoul's body. He discovered that when the ghoul died, the strange black energy disappeared just like that. What is this? It was impossible to find out the secret of the black air. Su Yu didn't bother to think too much. With a big wave of his hand, several fireballs gathered in his hand. After the fireballs appeared, the surrounding temperature instantly increased. Shoot! Su Yu sent out the fireball in his hand directly. Shish! After the sound of breaking through the air, fist-sized fireballs turned into streaks of red light and shot towards several ghouls, igniting raging fire everywhere they went. Several ghouls died in the sea of fire without even making a scream. Ding! You successfully killed the ghoul, deduction point plus 500. Ding! You successfully killed the ghoul, deduction point plus 500. Ding! You successfully killed the ghoul, deduction point plus 500. Why is it 500 points this time? Su Yu remembered that when he killed other E-level monsters, some got 400, some got 300, this time it was 500. Could it be that creatures of the same level can get different deduction points after being killed? So, Su Yu communicated with the system. After system explanation, only then did he realize that species of the same level are also divided into strong and weak. For example, the Earth rhinoceros he met before was considered an ordinary E-rank beast, worth only 400 deduction points. The ghouls killed this time are considered very strong in the E-level, so the deduction points obtained will be higher. In the studio, Guo Qingfeng had just finished explaining the information about the ghoul to everyone when he discovered that Su Yu had completely killed him. Can't help but sigh. Su Yu's strength is indeed terrifying. In the eyes of other players, the extremely terrifying E-level ghoul was killed by him like this. Look, Su Yu is also very proficient in manipulating fireballs. Obviously, he also has a deep understanding of the fire element. At the same time, Guo Qingfeng also began to question the speculation in his heart. Does Su Yu really only have D+ level strength? Just saying that he can kill a C-level Moon Shadow Silver Wolf, it is impossible for him to be able to kill a D+ level. Is he a B rank? Shaking his head lightly, Guo Qingfeng directly overturned this terrible guess. He has just awakened, how could he be a B rank powerhouse? Even a genius can't do this. In the following time, Su Yu entered the journey of scoring points. Relocate, move out of the shelter, and wait for the herd to deliver. Then kill them and change positions again. Over and over again. All kinds of strange creatures were encountered by him. D-level Nightmare, F-level Tin Blood Bull, E-level Iron Bear. In order to preserve spiritual and physical strength, increase the fighting time. Every time Su Yu makes a move, he aims at the lifeline of these creatures, never wasting excess physical and spiritual energy. Gradually, the speed of Su Yu's moves became more and more stable, and his moves became more and more concise. A sword light, a fireball, an ordinary punch. There are no gorgeous moves, just simple killing moves, but they are deadly. Every time he makes a move, a ferocious beast will fall down. In the live broadcast room, Guo Qingfeng is struggling to explain to everyone. This is already the third round of the herd. Su Yu's attack speed is still so fast. His physical strength is unimaginable. Look, everyone, the location of this sword's attack is exactly the weakness of this Baiyi silver wolf. Well, Su Yu is still so stable, a super long-distance fireball directly took away the nightmare. It turned out to be a D-rank blazing tiger. Su Yu, be careful. Okay, this can also be killed with a single sword. I have nothing to say, maybe this is strength. This is already the fourth round, I think it's time for Su Yu to rest. After several fights, he should be exhausted. However, in the picture, after Su Yu disposed of the beast's corpse, he continued on his way without resting. Guo Qingfeng. Everyone in the live broadcast room was amused by Guo Qingfeng's funny expression. Dean Guo, what about taking a break? Dean Guo, you still don't understand Su Yu, you can't judge with common sense. Ha ha ha, this wave has been slapped in the face again. I want to ask, Dean Guo, is your face swollen? Dean Guo doesn't cry, he will slap his face next time. In the studio, Guo Qingfeng was thinking with his head down. If he remembered correctly, Su Yu has fought for 5 rounds, and the 6th round is coming soon. Judging by his attempts, a normal player would be tired after the 2nd round. He naturally knew that Su Yu was not normal, so he set the rest time for the 4th round. In his opinion, after 4 rounds, even Su Yu, who is physically strong, should rest. The result? Still nothing. Guo Qingfeng didn't think he had a problem. These are unavoidable problems. No matter how strong a master is, his physical strength will be exhausted. Is Su Yu trying to hold on? No, he is such a measured person, he shouldn't make such a mistake. So how many rounds can he last? Think like this. Cough cough. Guo Qingfeng coughed lightly, smiled confidently at the camera, and said. Everyone should know that physical strength has a limit. Although Su Yu is very strong, he will always be exhausted. I predict, in 7, wrong, in 8 rounds, Su Yu will definitely rest. Just when Guo Qingfeng made a bet, Su Yu had finished the 5th round of attacks and was walking in the dark wasteland. Take out the shelter again and face the 7th round. This time, it was a group of Gale Falcons whose strength had reached level D. Looking down at Su Yu in the sky, he let out a sharp cry. Hey, hey, 5 hawks swooped down from the heights. Prickly. In order to maintain his strength, Su Yu moved very little. A few dodges avoided the eagle's sharp beak. The ancient sword in his hand drew a semicircular arc in the darkness, blocking the sneak attacks of several falcons. Immediately, 2 fireballs emerged from behind him, hitting 2 falcons with precision. Ding, you have successfully killed a D-rank beast, deduction point plus 1000. Ding, you have successfully killed a D-rank beast, deduction point plus 1000. After the battle, Su Yu didn't stop and continued to fight. The 6th round begins. Guo Qingfeng. This is normal and within my expectations. The battle is over. The 7th round begins. Guo Qingfeng. Isn't it? Isn't this a break? The battle is over. The 8th round begins. Guo Qingfeng. Su Yu, it's almost time, give my old man some face. The 9th round begins. Guo Qingfeng. Question mark question mark question mark. You are riding a horse. Don't mess with people's mentality. Can we rest and fight again? After each battle, Guo Qingfeng waited for Su Yu to rest. As a result, he was still fighting. After Su Yu finished the battle, he didn't stop, changing places and continuing to refresh the herd. 10th round, 11th round, as the number of times increased, Su Yu's expression was still so indifferent, and the ancient sword in his hand was still very stable. Every time he makes an attack, it is still a one-hit kill. Gradually, Guo Qingfeng's expression changed. Not because of being slapped in the face, but because of Su Yu's strong physical strength. or his terrifying control. With the change of mentality, Guo Qingfeng discovered many terrible things. Su Yu has perfect control over his body. That's why he can keep fighting. Every time Su Yu made a move, he controlled his strength within the range enough to kill the beast, never wasting any energy. In addition to understanding the weakness of the beast, it is possible to continue fighting like this. How much control did this require to pull it off? Who can do it? Now Guo Qingfeng only has endless admiration for Su Yu. Su Yu, my opinion of you is still too low. This moment. Everyone in the live broadcast room noticed that Guo Qingfeng's expression had changed, from embarrassment and unnaturalness before to suave and proud. What's the situation? What's wrong with Dean Guo again? Old Guo, are you okay? Don't scare us. We won't make fun of you. Yeah, it's normal for your prediction to be wrong. Dean Guo, are you confused by Su Yu's anger? Quote, don't be too hard on yourself. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.